then yeah, on the Super Bowl, I was like, things have been pretty good lately. I'll just have a couple of. I sent 2 tweets. And one of them was this, and I went, mother.
All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio. We got our girl Kelly Keegs for our Thursday episode. We will talk to Kelly in a moment, but we do have to discuss our helmet punishment, our latest helmet punishment.
I'm so sorry.
My latest idea is that it's not even really a helmet. It's she wears a GoPro, so we get a helmet cam.
No.
And we can make content. This is what Jackie sees when she fucks up and has to wear a helmet. If you don't know, Jackie...
Yeah, what happened?
She didn't post the YouTube.
I didn't put out one podcast.
One little podcast. That's only 2 a week.
Do you expect me to get them all out? Like, I don't
Now, okay, so
Fair.
here's what happened was that she was editing late at night. It was a late episode. It was a long episode. And as she was editing,
and
it
I
became...
never take it home.
Right. You took it home because you knew it was going to be late at it. And then it went to midnight. And then so when you press, schedule, it automatically defaults to the next day.
Of course.
So she scheduled it for 5 a.m. She did the math, bro. She said it's going up by 1% every 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So she figured out that it was going to end at 5:30 in the morning. She's like, that's perfect. It'll be up for 6 a.m. She did all of this for Wednesday instead of Tuesday.
I set an alarm for 6 a.m. Made sure, sick. We're processed. We're good.
Yeah.
And then I literally did everything right. And then turns out I didn't do
She
anything
keeps saying
right.
I did everything right.
But except for the scheduling part. But
You know what? The timing will fuck you like that at night. Like if it's after
The midnight will fuck you.
You still think
Cinderella.
I'm still in the same day. I'm still thinking about tomorrow. Like you really have to. I'm with
they
you.
don't make it
Until
very
you haven't
clear.
gone to bed, it's still PM, you know?
I woke up and those texts were happening as I woke up. But then I looked at the YouTube and it was up. So I was like, I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Well, so somebody tweeted me, where's the podcast? And I said, I checked Apple. Well, there it is. I said, oh, maybe Spotify. Check Spotify. There it is. I was like, maybe we don't post the podcast till 10 a.m. or something. But I do have to say.
You'd be like, what do you mean we always posted it?
Totally.
Yeah, right.
I appreciate the honesty. You could have spun any sort of lie. Oh, YouTube's doing maintenance today. I did whatever. But your boy Pabs did text me on the side, being like he didn't want to blow up the group chat, but he was like, it was the Wednesday thing. He was trying to not kill you.
You could have also made up an excuse though. He
He didn't really help.
Pabs, way to cover, dude. You just told him exactly what happened.
You know what? I really
Pabs gonna put it on Twitter, but nobody sees his account.
It's a fucking
Nameless.
account. That's crazy that you texted him on the side saying.
No, I thought that was a good thing that he wasn't gonna pile on
Yeah,
the group.
I guess.
He was just explaining what happened.
No, yeah.
Sounds like a snitch though.
Now Jackie's.
I really just want to blame somebody else.
Jackie's theory is that her record has been expunged. That her deleting ATI of Ari, her failing to post the podcast. Three times maybe.
Hey, we don't have to go through
all
of
of those. Statute of limitations has expired. I said we need there has been 0 days since an incident.
Yes.
But does your record get clean after a few years? I mean, that does in real crime. So
I think it's been 2 years.
Well, that was my question.
Probably 2 years.
Is it really?
I
was gonna say 6 months.
Here and there, the ever so slightest of messes up. From an outside perspective, have you noticed any mess ups?
Nothing.
Okay.
Not a thing.
Die-hard KFC Radio listener. Listen to
I
every
pay
episode.
attention.
That's a real one. That
I
ain't
do.
no snitch.
I pay attention to everything. Yeah, and I ain't no snitch. But no, I really haven't. As a casual viewer, I see the clips. The clips all look good. If ever I go to find the podcast, it's there. I've never had a problem personally.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I said, listen. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, John.
Well, you know what?
Jackie's vlog went up, no problem. Got her views, got her comments, did her whole thing, did the edit, worked on it, published it, no problem, except that there was no audio in the right ear.
Yeah.
So there was a problem with that one. But whatever, Miss fucking solo superstar Timberlake over here leaving the
I was
band.
beating myself up because I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm
Uh-huh.
whatever. Wait, but I didn't even say it. I blame you because.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you for just taking that. Yeah. You literally said last time, you're not going to get fired. No way you get fired. And last time you said something oh, you haven't messed up in a while. I messed up.
The next day.
And then the next
yesterday,
day, I messed up.
You
So
said
you
you're
keep
never going to
jinx.
get fired.
Okay.
And she was like, challenge accepted. And then.
Yeah. I said, bet.
So you're fired.
Oh, wait. Wait, no. That's not what I want.
No,
And I always say in these
still
situations,
stands true.
What would Dave do? What would Dave do?
No.
Did you hear her?
She's got more lives than that.
We were talking about how all the younger people at Barstool like just talk to Dave and call Dave.
Oh my God, I was
and when she
dying
was like,
at that.
I was
Yes.
not raised. We
Yeah,
were
that was-
raised
we were
different,
in a
not
different
in my
house.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
We don't talk
and
about
by the
Dave
way,
in my house.
not in my house either. I was raised by the same house. And nope. I'll send Dave a text and I'm like, okay, all right. Even when I send a text, I'm
Think
like,
everything
I
out.
really have to like work myself up, being like, okay, yeah, no, we're cool. Like, we're definitely cool. I can definitely send this text, and then every once in a while, we'll have a back and forth, and I'm like, oh wow, me and Dave, we're friends. Like, this is so chill,
Dude,
and then I'll send a text, and I'll get no response, and it's like an important text, and then, like, for example, the last second, I let him know that I was going to be down at the Super Bowl for 2 days because Gia and I wanted to make a video on Bourbon Street. Not a part of the Barstool crew, just went down because she was already going down with her family for the Eagles.
Right.
And I didn't want him to think
You're
that
like riding coattails
I like
for free or
asked
whatever. Yeah.
and like Barstool's paying for me and like all this stuff. So that's why nobody knew I was there because I was only there for like less than 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like it was a really quick thing. We just wanted to make a quick video. I texted him letting him know that we were going to be there just for a couple days and that I didn't want you to think Barstool's paying for it, whatever. Like this, probably too long of a text.
That's how we were raised. That's smart.
And I texted him that, no response. And so the whole time, I hid from Dave the whole time. And then me and Gio were sitting in the lobby of the hotel that, again, I wasn't staying at, but the Barstool people were.
Yeah.
And that's all happening. We're sitting in the lobby waiting for Fran to go to lunch. And we're sitting there, we're vlogging on the couch, like talking about how we just got interviewed by Fox News on the street. We're all excited. Dave walks out and both of us go, she puts her phone down. We're sitting there like this. We're like, hey, Dave. And I was like, how are you? And he goes, what? I was like, I just asked how you were. He's like, oh, I'm good. And then kept walking. And so now I'm like, well, we're never going to speak again. Like, he hates my guts. Like, forget it. Like, never again. So, yes, Jackie, I understand. We were raised in the same house.
I was texting him.
We're not besties with Dave.
I was texting him about Jail Stool, and it was when people were like, don't go to bed. And I was like, I was texting him being like, the people don't want you to go to bed. And I said to him, somebody tweeted me and said, Europe is coming, meaning like the overseas is about to wake up. It's time to go.
Sure.
So I texted him, Europe is coming. And he goes, what the fuck does that mean? And I go, the people overseas are about to wake up and get it. And then he says, I have to sleep. What, did you just die?
What?
What, you just die? And like anybody else, I would just be like, I don't know, like that's a typo, and I just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, what does this mean?
No, of
I
course.
was like, what did you just die? What does that mean?
Because God
I'm sitting there
forbid you
like,
ask
did I
him to
die on
clarify,
Twitter?
yeah.
Am I not like? What does that mean?
Did you get the bottom of it?
No, I just left it. Because then
Now
he
we'll never
followed up
know.
and said, then he just said, someone else can tweet for me if you want, and
You
I.
just faked your own death.
Yeah. I'd be like, in my head, is it a typo? Does he mean, why don't I just die? Like, he's sick of my texts? Like, I should probably stop texting. Like, that'd
I
be
think
the role I went
maybe
down.
he meant, what am I supposed to just die? Because he was like, I have to go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Sure,
So I
that
think he
makes
was like, what am I just have to die now? But instead, what did you just die? I was like, I don't know what this means.
That's like when
20 fucking years in, I'm
Yeah.
still like,
No.
no, not at all like it, but like when he was behind me and I like ran into the glass door and I was like, dude, the one thing I had to do right now was not run into this glass door.
When
And
did
the
you
one
do
thing
that?
this was like,
Did he say anything?
no, he didn't. But like he clearly heard. It was like, and also like I really like didn't play it off
Did
well.
you,
Like,
like,
it was pretty
bong?
pathetic.
Like-
Yeah, it was like an audible like bang, and then I go, ow. Dude, actually, the one thing I needed to not do was I just needed to walk through this door like a fucking normal human. And the one thing I did was
Never change,
Jackie.
babe. Never change. It is what the funniest thing about
We're
Dave.
raised different.
Yeah, they were raised different in
I
this
think
house.
we said it with Rowan too, though. Is like Dave's done an incredible job of making people feel like a little bit afraid and feel this way, but he doesn't actually care about these things.
Yeah.
If you were ever like, "Yo, did you see Jackie walking to the door?" He'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Or like, "What about Gia and Kelly down in New Orleans, like on the couch?" He'd be like, "I don't know." They're
What are
there."
you talking
But
about?
we're always
Yeah.
like, "What does he mean? What does he think?"
Completely.
It's like he.
Well, because we all want him to like us.
I know.
It's
I
like
know.
I just want Dave to
I
like
know.
me. Like that's literally all I care about.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
'Cause
when
nothing's
someone
worse than when he hates your guts. Like if
when-
he hates your guts, it's like, well, you might as well leave. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
no, I've always said there's like three good, there's like you're in good standing, and no standing is like where to be. Everything, and you don't want to be on the radar or be on the good side of the radar. But I mean, yeah, it's like you benefit extremely if you're on Dave's good side. Me and John have differing takes on this.
Oh.
I say, get off of Twitter, Kelly.
Oh.
John says, keep
for
going.
me. So I've gone back and forth.
This one was particularly crazy. This Taylor
no.
thing was so fucking harmless.
Kevin.
But these are your people. It's the problem.
No, dude, it is. These are not my people, and I do not claim these people. Gia and I just went on. I swear to God, an hour and a half rant about this exact thing on Taylor Watch because I don't understand what's happened with Twitter, X. I'm calling it X because it's not the Twitter I know.
I actually like
it
that.
is not.
I used to say to people, if you call it X, you're a loser, but you're right. It's not
X,
Twitter
it's an insult,
anymore.
by the way. When I'm calling it X, I'm
Yes,
insulting you. But
yes.
it's like I almost want to like write a whole thing about how the landscape has changed, and I hate being the bitch that's like the landscape has changed, but Twitter in the past year and a half has become a totally maybe longer,
But definitely. Yeah.
since Elon Musk bought it, to be honest. A little bit before that, though, to be fair. And it has become a place where people, it's like shit posting, which I understand was always a part of it, but I think now those people are put to the forefront, and everyone now just assumes that's what it is. So my least favorite argument coming back from people when you say something online and they reply and they're like, "Why are you upset about that? That's the internet. That's the internet." I'm like, this is not the internet. Like, this is not how it's completely different. And I'm fine if you want to admit that it's completely different, sure, but I need you to admit it because this is not something that anybody should like be used to or be expecting. So,
for people who don't know,
the Taylor Swift
you
thing.
tweeted the Chiefs are getting beat so bad that Taylor's going to break
Taylor's
up
gonna break up with Travis,
which is like
everyone made that joke.
I mean,
all week long for 2 weeks. Swifties are making that joke, being like, "Oh, Travis, with no losers in this house, you better come home with a win."
Yeah,
even though
like,
Taylor
come
Swift just
on.
lost 7 Grammys like last week. So it's
yeah.
like we're making jokes, we're having fun, we're trying to make light of it, take the pressure off because there's so much pressure. The amount of news coverage on Taylor and Travis just for this game alone was out of control. Like, it's just too much. People, every single question he's asked at Media Day is about Taylor. What victory food are you looking forward to her making? What, and it's like, okay, fine. I get that people need to get their sound bites and get their bullshit, but he's playing the fucking Super Bowl and there needs to be a separation, but people can't figure it out. And so I tweeted that joke. I got within seconds, dragged. 50
like
quote
real,
tweets.
like
real people, real
like
shit.
Offended, like
people being like,
think
get a real
pieces.
fucking job, bitch.
Yeah.
Making money off the back of Taylor Swift. What a fake fucking fan you are, piece of shit, whore bag, bitch. Here's your OnlyFans, like nonstop. And I
so
I deleted
harmless,
it within
bro.
10 minutes. It was so bad.
I saw your tweet that said I deleted it, and I was like,
delete it.
"Oh, this bitch said something." And then when I found out what it was, I was like, "What?"
And
the
people
fuck?
were like, people don't forget the North remembers, and like screenshots of the tweet. I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't have deleted the tweet. I stand by the fucking tweet. I didn't want all the hate that's coming from it. I didn't think I'd be getting this. So then that was the temperature check that I should have paid attention to, because that was out of control. The Chief fan Swifties, who are just 16-year-olds online, I'm convinced, are over here harassing everyone. And I should have known a mere few hours later when the Eagles won, and they started harassing Jason Kelce and Kylie Kelce for celebrating the Eagles win. New Heights, the podcast, tweeted out like, "Congrats to the Eagles." Obviously, they're a football podcast. They're going to tweet happy
And he used to play
congratulations.
for
And he
them,
used to
and-
play for the
yeah.
Eagles for 13 years. People were coming after Jason saying, "What a fucking asshole," rubbing it in his brother's face. He's such a dick. Wow, how far he's fallen. We've built these people up, and now they are taking advantage of us. Talking
you
shit.
get the credit.
I'm boycotting Kylie's podcast because she's gonna go off about the Eagles, and I just can't hear it. I'm like, bitch, you didn't care about football 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden that Taylor's hating Travis, you're Mr. I can't listen to Kylie Kelsey's podcast. Fuck off. She's pregnant, by the way. Get a grip. Get a grip. You're out of your fucking mind. So like, I swear,
The thing about
it's
it
a
is
subset of people
shit-
that I don't know where they came from, and I don't know why they're here, but they're ruining everything.
I think this has been my take for a little while. I think there are now Taylor Swift fans and Swifties. I think
Yes.
Swifties have become.
Well,
I think
they're
that's
sullying
been
the
for a few
name.
years.
They're
Yeah.
sullying the name of Swifties. Like,
Yeah.
they're using the Swiftie name
like
to
much like
to
X and
produce
Twitter.
this.
I wouldn't want to be
Yeah.
called a Swiftie anymore.
No.
I think I said that one time when I was on Taylor Watch, where I was like, I'm not a Swiftie. I like
Taylor Swift
Taylor
fan.
Swift. I love
Yes.
Taylor Swift, but like
People put too much
Swiftie
pressure on the
is-
Swiftie name because they're like, well, the Swifties are so intense, but it's like,
I just want what's best for Taylor Swift.
No, I'm just
rest
a
of this shit
super
is
fan.
fucking-
Like that's great, but I'm certainly not that. I have a theory. Tell me if you guys agree with this. I didn't say it today, but I wanted to. I also kind of think that there are people who just want to like hate on women, hate on Taylor Swift, hate on whatever, that are pretending to be these intense Swifties and going on and like causing a problem and talking shit.
like a
I think that
psyop?
there's
Like
fake.
they're-
I think there's real for sure. I think there's actual psychopaths doing this, but I also think that there are people who are seeing that it gets interaction and it gets, people, you get paid on Twitter now. People forget. So if you put a tweet out and you're verified and you can make a bunch of money on it, I think people are like make a fake account, put Taylor Swift as a profile, and go in and start shit to try to get shit going on.
It's like homophobic like politicians who are like in the bathroom toe tapping. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's like
right,
you're
right.
always hiding when you actually.
I don't trust anything I fucking see on that app. I don't trust it. And so I had been
it used to
doing
be so much fun.
No, it was no, Kevin. I keep saying
And a night like
it's
the
the
Super Bowl.
breakup that I can't get over.
Yeah.
I'm truly.
keep going back to it
I
and
keep
fucking
going back.
them.
It's the most toxic relationship in my life is fucking Twitter. I swear. Like,
well,
it
that
is-
that has always been the
sad.
case, but I know
True.
what you mean. But it's always been toxic for all of us. But it is funny, like especially the Super Bowl used to be a night where you would send like 50 tweets in a night, and if one of them was like the Chiefs are playing so bad, he's gonna break up with Travis, it would be like you get some retweets and keep it moving.
I
Not
even
like
said in the
talk of
tweet, LMAO, JK, but wow, these guys are playing like shit. Like I literally said that in the thing. Like
right.
it's just people want to grab onto something and they just want to hate, they want to do whatever, and I get it. But again, I've really noticed it siloed down to X because I get a little bit of it on TikTok and a little bit on Instagram, like some comments, whatever. But it is all like the vitriol lives in one spot, and it's just I don't know how to get around it or how do I extricate myself from this fucking
I think
space?
once you realize there's not much value in Twitter anymore for content, it's like you start. I took like a year off of Twitter, and now I'm kind of back on it, and it's like all of my traction everything's down because like once you stop for that long, you just kind of lose your base, you know. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore but it is just like part of my routine to this, like, you know. But it is like once you start to realize the same thing with I always said with like once you realize that like reading comments and reading feedback is bad for you, you do your job worse, you make less money. Like this is actively harming your life. You start to really then you can separate yourself. When it's like if Instagram was bad, I'd be like, I gotta be on Instagram. This is where I'm like putting my videos. I gotta do it. You literally don't have to be on Twitter anymore.
No, you really don't. But
You can succeed on it, but you don't have to be on it.
I
So
think you
my-
should stay on it.
But yeah, so John was like,
Yeah,
keep going. Keep
Well,
going.
I need to be like I'm not going to get off. Like I'm not going to not stop looking at it. Like I have to see it. It's whether I'm engaged or not is my issue.
But I enjoy. It's fun watching you.
My meltdowns.
Not your meltdowns. No. But like right now in particular, I feel like so there's one one discussion we had recently off air that will remain off air.
Okay.
But remember, I was like, I've been there before. It was about English teacher.
Oh, no. Keep that one up. Keep that one up.
But then now it's like seeing Swifties mad at you about like a dumb joke. Like it's not the greatest, but it's just stupid. And like seeing Swifties so angry about like a stupid joke, and you're like, yeah, no, I've been there.
Walk a mile in our shoes,
No,
man.
truly. But that's what I mean. Like, there are so many layers to it. It's like, am I out of touch? Am I this? Am I that? Like, is it my fault? Did I
There's a little bit of
curate
that.
something?
I think
like, did I
once you
curate
realize you're
the
a little-
vibe that like that shouldn't be joked about? But then
No. I'm just saying
the
that I
jokes
think
are-
we're a little bit old.
Well, for
And once
sure.
you get old,
But I've
you
always
start
felt
to
that
just
way.
like, but you just like lose a little bit of like you just start to not know what hits quite the same.
For sure.
It's like,
And
I thought that tweet was funny, and it's like they don't. You know
I've
what I mean?
always felt,
Like,
but again, like I understand if it's like I sound like old man yelling at the cloud, and I do definitely have those moments. But with this specifically, it's not even like I'm too old. Like everybody else is making this joke, even Swifties. I thought we're having fun, like we're all joking around, like don't come back to this house without a win, like you know. Making a joke.
Yeah.
And I just did not expect it to turn out that way. But then again, like my issue with Twitter over the weekend was such a small thing compared to what those same accounts and people started doing towards the Kelsey family. Like that was just a weird thing. And then now they're going off about other shit. Like it's just, I don't know. They pick battles in the wrong way, and I just know that it's wrong inherently. Like that's not me being old. That's me being like, you are
this
you
sucks.
are
You
insane.
suck.
Like
Yeah,
this is crazy. You don't know these people. Like
Right.
we have to take a step back. Like it's too nuts. But
But the flip side is like
What do
the
you do?
Kelseys have been everywhere. If you're going to be on every commercial, every
sure,
show, every
yeah.
everything, it's
well,
unfortunately it's part of
overexposure.
the
people
you
get
know.
people get caught up in it. But
Yeah.
as a whole, Twitter, the app, as everyone knows, I'm going through it. But after surviving Barstool, I was like, this is it. Like I truly have to stop.
This is
it.
it.
Is
It's
so
like an
bad.
X, though. It's
No,
like-
it really is.
but
I was like, I have to stop. So
it's-
listen, what I did. So I'm like, I have to stop this. Like I really can't do it anymore. So now, since surviving Barstool ended, that was the worst. Maybe the worst hate I've ever gotten in my life was that. And I only will retweet, and then I will only tweet out blogs. And so I'm like, all right, that's what I'll do. And I turned my replies off for like a month. I was like, you know what? People get so pissed off when they can't reply. And I kind of
Yeah.
like that. I kind of like
Take
it.
back
Like,
the power.
yeah, this is my fucking spot. Anyway, so then on the Super Bowl, I was like, things have been pretty good lately. I'll just have a couple of, I sent 2 tweets. And one of them was this. And I went, motherfucker. And then immediately I'm like, fuck this app. I hate this app. These people are stupid, blah, blah. I'm sending 10 tweets. I'm quote tweeting 15-year-olds being like, fuck you, bitch. The fuck you think is going on here? Like,
grow up. I saw a bunch of
their
those.
profile is literally like 19, Swifty. And I'm like, fuck you, cunt. Like, die in a ditch. And it's
the thing is, Twitter
it's addicting.
is like
It's horrible.
your ex.
It's there used to be, we used to throw around the A word, jokingly, and over like a couple of years.
Addicted?
A word?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's become painfully and somewhat pathetically obvious. It's a genuine addiction.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say the
Yes.
opposite. I was like,
No.
it's
it
real.
is.
Genuine, like straight. Like I used to kind of roll my eyes, like, yeah, it's fun, but like kind of the same way I do about sugar, where I'm like, yeah, it's addicting. Like, it's crazy addicting.
You literally eat in your sleep. That's how addicted you are to sugar.
Those are addicting. They're just legal. That's the,
yeah.
The only thing that separates the addictions from the addictions is legal. Like those are addicting.
Like I feel like a sober person who's now watching people, and I'm like, oh, these people are fucking zombied out.
They're the guys doing the burning.
It's just people
crack.
like
it's
just people sitting here like everyone's mad at me. Everyone's mad. Like,
It just keeps
literally me.
stop.
That's literally me.
Just
I'm
stop
like,
looking.
but
I'm
it's
like single tears rolling down my cheek, like on Reddit. Like, oh my god, like everyone hates my guts. No one's ever gonna like me again. I need to
But
quit.
here's the
Like,
deal. We have to stop laughing about it. You all have real problems.
I know.
Look, I promise I'm not going to be part of an intervention ever. But if I was, I'd have a talk with this entire goddamn place.
Well, you know what it is?
so true.
I had a moment where, probably when Elon bought it, where I was like, Barstool, I think Barstool should like have equity in Twitter. I think that we as like a company kept Twitter going for, it was black people and Barstool was like Twitter for a long time. And
like, where's Black
that's
Twitter?
Some blood shit.
Dead serious? Where did Black Twitter go? Like, where is it?
The whites took over.
I hate it.
Twitter got gentrified.
Where is Black Twitter? Bring it back.
sucks,
They were the
man.
best part of Twitter. And like,
well,
it's
the
just
thing
not
about
the
Black
same.
Twitter was that it was, people, I remember people being like, how do I get on Black Twitter? And they didn't realize that it was just like,
It's Twitter.
you follow black people on Twitter.
Exactly.
But there needs to be like black.twitter.com, like a
100%.
separate thing that you go to.
All those people are gone, and
it's
it's unfair.
I remember thinking when I was like, oh, maybe this is because Instagram and TikTok took over, and I was like, ugh, we put so much equity into this, so much, all our eggs in this basket. I have so many followers, and it's like useless. And then I remember being like, maybe this is going to be our time. Like it's going to swing back to Twitter, and the attention did, but all the wrong kinds, the kinds that I don't want, and the kinds I want to do.
Completely.
You know,
It's just not
if you're
the same.
political, like Twitter is fucking golden. You know what I mean?
And I will say, it's obviously the fastest, like, immediate news. Like, you can see people are putting videos immediately. People put the
trends,
you know,
and
the trends, the streams
direct
of
access.
what's happening if there's like a tragedy or whatever. Like, that's all that shit goes up there fastest because that's kind of where people flock to. But again, like, it's just not the same landscape in terms of joking around and creating content and having fun. Like, it's more of like an open forum now, which I don't feel like I ever thought that of it before. Like, I thought of it as like I gotta write some jokes on Twitter to get my following, and people are gonna like me and think I'm funny, and then
It used to be
they'll use that as like the catalyst to bring you to, oh, I do a podcast,
Wow,
or
podcast,
here's my TikTok, or oh, whatever else.
There is something to say about that, because like kind of what you're both saying, where like it was Barstool used Twitter, and like everyone used Twitter, and then it kind of felt like a part where like Dave can see me working. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's almost like you're clocking in. I'm showing the boss
100%. Why do you think I still tweet blogs?
And
he doesn't even follow me anymore.
Until I stopped like basically using Twitter. I guess I obviously still use it, but just compared to what I used to, it's not even registering. But then I stopped thinking like I used to basically think I worked for Twitter. Where like that was where like that's what I had to do was like live tweet stuff and post stuff, and just like that's what the people who wrote my check, that's what they use. Yeah. So they have to see me here
doing the same thing. Yeah.
And then once I stopped using that as much, I was like, oh, I don't feel like I work for Twitter anymore. And then I was like, oh, now we can just do stuff at work and it's fine. It's like, it made everything a lot easier.
I saw somebody the other day. I think it was I want to say it was somebody from the Joe Budden podcast, that they were like, I'll give you my halftime thoughts on my podcast, like where I make my money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I go back and forth where I'm like, that is obvious. There's a logic behind that of like, here's where I get paid. I'm going to give you my takes there. But I do think you need to just be like,
but also
everywhere. And
when you have a podcast, it's the same fucking thing. So like with Twitter, you're just using it to say what you've been up to and what you think about the current affairs. And so then I thought when I was heavily using Twitter, it's so funny.
Yeah. I'm over here like, yes.
But then I'd get on the show.
And I heavily use Twitter.
I'd get on the show and I would always preface it with like, you saw me say, I said, and then it's like, no, just fucking say your goddamn words one time and then move on, dude.
I do the same thing, John, because I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm just I'm repurposing. I'm like, I already tweeted this, but and it's like
a fraction of the people saw
who cares? Yeah, who cares?
Said this on the pod, but like, just fucking talk.
Right.
Just fucking.
Completely.
But it's harder when as soon as you say something, you're like, well, people have heard me say this.
Especially if it's a joke. It's like I'm saying
Absolutely.
this punchline again.
Yeah.
You know
it
what?
feels like it's like telling any story. Like it feels a lot less organic the fourth time you tell it or whatever.
Absolutely.
And you're like, all right, I guess I'll tell you the thing I had a tweet thread about last night. You know what I mean? Like,
no, by the way,
it makes
we are
bad
such
podcasting.
losers.
Oh,
There
no,
are normal
please.
people listening at home being like, "You guys are fucking."
It's like,
losers.
because people don't they like understand. You know, there are more people that are silent on Twitter than anything. Like
creepers.
for real, the creepers. But all my friends are still on. They just don't participate. So like they'll always be like, "Oh, I saw this, I saw that." So people are still paying attention. But again, it's not like whether you engage or not is
it's a very
different.
insular Barstool world
Yes,
we create,
for sure.
where everyone just kind of keeps tabs on each other and knows what people are up to and hates people for things and likes people for things.
Did you see this? Did you see that?
And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, show it to me. I'll react to it. But you don't need to see. There was a time in my life where I saw on my timeline. I saw every tweet tweeted that day.
Right.
Yep.
I would scroll if it said see more. I would scroll back to the last one I saw. I would see every tweet tweeted by people I followed. That's fucking deranged.
Crazy.
That's
crazy
deranged.
shit.
Would
But
you
it's like
have been on
you
Twitter
couldn't
if you
miss
didn't work for
anything
Barstool?
though. Like,
No.
'Cause I think I
want to-
remember telling you like you need to get on Twitter, and I think you were like, okay.
Well,
like,
I
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like I want to get addicted to Twitter. Because,
No.
no. But like,
No,
I know, but like
stay
that's
here
how
as
people,
long as you
that's
can.
how people
Cherish
like
it.
get informed and like. You know, like I feel like somebody's like giving me sugar pills if we're talking about like addiction. Like I feel like guys, I'm
I
here
want the
and I'm
real
like,
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to rumble, but like no, it's like it's not hitting. But I don't want the smoke. Like I don't want the hate.
No.
But like I'm not seeing the same. Like everyone's like, oh, this happened on Twitter. I was like, I was on Twitter, but I didn't
it
see
is the
that.
best place to stay informed.
I'm just not doing it right.
So I have I have a burner that I named.
right.
It's like if you were to find it, you would never be like, "This is I'm hiding a burner."
Right, exactly.
I have a very
well,
blatant
but you
burner.
already have said
I was
that
like,
before.
I'm going to.
You're like, I'm going to just
I
look.
don't tweet. I just have a timeline. And I just follow people because I was like, I need to stay up on it, but I don't want to be involved in it. And every few months, I would say to Pads, change the password. I'd have him change my password to KFC Barstool, and I would go on my other one.
Right.
And then like the Mets season would start, and I'd be like, I got to talk about the Mets. I was like, give me the password. And it was, it was like going to rehab. It was like, I'm back in rehab.
You know what I think is a good way to, or something for me that kind of put it in perspective was, and how I've not, like it's a Twitter specific problem for me in general, because when TikTok was offline for like 5 minutes or whatever, what was it? Actually 36 hours or not even that long?
I think it was like 12 hours.
12 hours,
It was
yeah.
like night and you woke up in his back.
In that time, everyone was talking about, like everyone in my immediate life, and also like as far as I could tell online, we're talking about how they kept opening the app up and down, and they missed TikTok and this and that, whatever. I didn't even notice. Like I am not on TikTok the
TikTok girl?
same way. I mean, I like it, but I don't like. It's not my main source. Like I'll go on there and be like, oh yeah, I gotta post a TikTok, or oh yeah, I gotta go. I'll scroll for a few minutes. But during COVID, I would like I'd be like, all right, let's settle in, and instead of like opening up a book, I'm gonna scroll TikTok for 5 hours until I fall asleep. And I didn't like that because it really made me feel like a Wally person. So now I just don't. It's videos is a little different. I feel because you need the
TikTok
sound.
is consuming.
Yes.
And Twitter was like, I'm going to tweet and participate.
Exactly. And it's also it's easier just to write a couple words and tweet. Like you don't have to
that's
show
the
your
main
face.
thing.
Like
It's
it's
just quick.
and not even the don't show your face. Like I don't have to worry about like being on a what I mean?
Yeah.
A light and everything.
But
that was it. Like it's just the addiction is different. Like the way that people felt about TikTok in that time is how I still feel about Twitter.
I did see something on Twitter today though that was good. The drop a pin, Donnie and Traps' podcast. So there's a clip of Brandon Walker on the show, and they're talking about Mississippi and all this stuff, and Brandon's listing his bona fides where he used to be an editor at this paper, so and so at that paper, and just his dedicated career. And Wonton Don says like, how did you get so good at writing being from Mississippi? And
You inbred moron.
and Brandon took like the right amount of offense to that, where he didn't like freak
you
out.
can't read and write if you're from Mississippi.
But he's like, you're an asshole. Like that's an asshole question.
Yeah.
And he explains some great writers who are from Mississippi, Faulkner being one of them. I forget a couple others. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Brandon. Like, good for you. Like, stand up. Because I actually thought Donnie was asking it more jokingly, and Donnie was kind of like taken aback, where he's like, okay, you're right. I was like, wait, were you just genuinely asking? Like, how can you read? You're from Mississippi. Right. And then Brandon.
Fair.
Yeah.
But so then Brandon's continuing to explain how Mississippi, they suffer in some aspects, but they're, they've got colleges, and he lists the colleges. He's like, we got Ole Miss, we got Mississippi State, there's Southern Miss, and then he kind of tailed off. And I was like, well, hang on.
You only got 3
like,
colleges.
I'm with Brandon. I'm with you. Like everything so far has been pretty proper.
But
how many colleges are in Mississippi? So I Googled it.
Oh no.
Well, let me take a guess how many colleges are in the state of Mississippi.
No.
What's like normal? What's a normal amount?
10.
So the numbers I found, I just, I didn't do a ton of research, but I Googled it and a couple things popped up. I'm pretty sure the answer is between 9 and 20.
No.
Bro,
there's like between 9 and 20 on like a street in Boston.
Dude, Boston has
That's
44.
what I mean. So oh shit. Okay.
In just Boston, not even Massachusetts. Boston's like 20 blocks. Boston's like the size of like the financial district. It has 44 colleges.
What's like the average amount of colleges per state?
That's probably the other extreme though, right?
Yeah, but I Googled Boston for a reason. Like Boston has a shitload of
44
colleges.
in Boston.
So this is
there's 400,000 people in Boston. There's 44 colleges.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think Boston's 1 million though.
Is it? I thought there was
so.
like only a few hundred.
I could be wrong, but so this is
like
what I found
everyone
out.
in the city of Boston is a college student.
This is Mississippi 4-year public institutions and their admission requirements. Alcorn State University, Delta State University, Jackson State University, Mississippi State, Mississippi University for Women, Mississippi Valley State University, University of Mississippi, Southern Miss, Mississippi Medical Center. That's 9. And I'm going to say, I don't know if 2 of those count.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like South for women.
Dude,
I said, go girls.
Yeah. No,
University of Mississippi Medical Center. I don't know if I'm counting that as a college. I got to know what that place
like a
is
hospital.
before I'm just like, that's a college.
Right? That sounds like Center for Ants.
But again, like I'm going back now, and like there are like some of like the Google like fast answers are like how many 4-year colleges in the state of Mississippi. This one says 18, but it's less than the city of Boston.
Sure. Okay.
That's where it's
Which
like,
again,
listen, Brandon.
I'm 100% with Brandon. Like that was the way the question was asked. I was like, that's dickish. You got to bring me more than 9 colleges.
And he only said 3.
Yeah, you gotta have something. You gotta have a little better of an answer than that.
Where did you pretend to go to college again? Were you fake go to USC?
Shut up. From a female perspective, though, I feel like so much of Barstool is built around controversy, and like I'm personally so afraid of it because like I know like it's kind of the stoolies are harder on women, and so we need somebody like you're in the mix, and or else it would just be all guys in the mix.
I'm that bitch that's like.
You're taking
blocking
like
the
that's
shot.
me. I got Twitter behind me, and I'm like this, and it's like you, Caroline, Gia, and like little girls.
You're trailblazing women.
Yeah, you are, though.
And I'm
Like, I always
taking
thought
the
this about-
bullets. That's me on Twitter.
In like every friend group, there was like, like in my friend group, there's like the girl who was like the original friend, and then there's like the oldest, longest tenured girlfriends,
person.
Yeah.
And then the newest one in is like the new bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, you're kind of like that. It's like you,
Yeah.
Rhea,
We're like,
Fran,
keep fighting
like
the good fight.
Right. Yeah, I know. And
as
it's
we're
like,
just sitting on TikTok having fun.
Yeah.
Go burn on Twitter, old bitch.
No, literally, it's like I think I have to go down with the shit. Like I don't know if I could ever. Like it is so ingrained. Like even calling it X, like that's like a new thing in the past 3 days. I've been trying to be like X, like fucking whatever. I'm gonna call Twitter forever.
I go back and forth because I do
it.
believe what you're saying. Like, I'm a Twitter guy till I die, but it's like this is.
But it's so
bad
for my body. Like it's so bad for my mind and my body. Like I legitimately hate myself every day. Like it's because of it. It's so annoying though. It's so annoying.
When shit would go trending, there'd be funny hashtags, and like everyone would get in on the same. It was just like
it was the
truly.
best.
There would be like I would be like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and it's just a random
live
dude
tweeting events
with like 200 followers. I'm like, that's the funniest shit ever.
People were so funny and smart, and it was just it really cracked me up. But now, so my favorite thing to do now is like I'm cheating on Twitter with TikTok. So I'll go to TikTok and bitch about Twitter. So it's like you guys will never believe what's going on over there. Like those people are crazy. Thank God we're over here. Like
you know what's bullshit?
I'm playing
by the
them
way?
off each other now.
I just I've been trying to do TikTok forever, and it just doesn't work. And I'm like, Jack Mack has millions of followers. We talk basically
so good at
like
it,
the same things. And I'm like, I know he does it differently, but like I should be higher, whatever. And then I just started following people and hearting shit, and all my views went up.
Oh yeah.
Because I was only using it to like
to post.
No, and I think they were like, we want you like using it, and I was like, fuck this.
That's how they get
now
you.
I'm just liking like. By the way, the Barstool TikTok is the worst TikTok. In the
it has the most views of like any sports media
what was the
outlet
last
ever.
one I sent
like,
you? It was particularly insane.
I think it's number 1. Yeah, it's either number 1 or number 2. It did.
Yeah,
it did for a while. I don't know if
it's the number 1 followed
like account
media brand on the
media brand,
Yes.
and everyone at this goddamn company will still complain about the media. It's like, hey, it's fucking you idiots.
Say it's you.
It's you,
What was
you
the last
goddamn
one? The
fucking
calls
more.
coming from inside the house.
It's you, dude. What the fuck do you think you do for a living?
Well, that's what I feel like when I see those fucking posts. It's like, I know this is how you get to 40 million followers, I guess. But it started out with like dogs. I was like, all right, fine. And then it was like cute babies. And I'm like, all right, fine. And then there was one recently that I was like, this isn't a joke. This isn't shock value. This isn't any. It was, remember that? It was just like, I sent them all to John. I'm like, could you believe this? And every time he's just like, ha ha ha. It's
I
like
open
the
them
worst.
though. I do.
Sometimes you got it.
I had to download TikTok so I could know what Kevin was talking
For
about
sure.
when he.
It's good though to see those things because you you can see what's kind of going on the other side of things where you're like, and also not even what works. It's more of like where people are right now. Like for example, Jackie, you might know this. Do you follow or have you seen the like Nutter Butter TikTok account?
No.
Has no one seen it? Okay. The Nutter Butter TikTok account is almost designed to be like only view this page on acid. Like it makes no fucking sense at all. But it somehow is funny to me. I'm like, this is kind of funny. Like, and I get why people are laughing. Like it's like melt your mind. Like, I don't even know. I have to show it to you because there's no way I can describe it. Like, I legit don't know how. Apparently, it's like literally geared towards kids, like not even Gen Z, like younger than that. Nutter Butter. Wait, I have to find it.
While you look at this,
No
this is the one that I found, by the way. It just says, my whole house is sleeping, pillow scream. And it's a girl just screaming into a pillow.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's on Barstool?
That's on Barstool
guys.
Sports. And she's just testing out different
Well,
pillows.
what's even better, by the way, is when they make us do the Snapchat takes on those videos. And I'm always like, I don't know what the fuck. It's like, I don't know.
If you asked me about the
fuck.
girl screaming into the pillow, I'd be like, I quit. Fuck this place.
They had me do the Snapchat
Here
show
it
the
is.
other day.
Okay. Wait.
This is the shit that plays, though,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The fuck is this?
How many views?
I'm sure a bajillion or
It's
something.
pinned. Oh, and here's another one. Open up now.
Yeah, this is like trippy.
The fuck? Both of those
I
videos,
remember
by the
when,
way, the floor time, Open Up Now, I just showed 11.4 million views. The first one I showed 11.7 million views. This one has 12.5 million views. It's a haunted house slideshow
Oh, this one I think I've seen.
of like a death. A Nutter Butter death. What the fuck
I
is
remember
going on?
watching Barstool Van Talk, the first episode.
1.5 million followers on the account.
Yeah.
And there was like, they had that rat like run across the screen, and it felt like that. And
Yeah.
I remember being like, the game's passed me by. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get this sort of like humor. And, but I think that's just like when you're getting older and like, I don't know, there's
For
young
sure.
kids who are like, these are fucking funny.
But that's what I
weird
mean.
colors and
I
shit.
like to see it though, because I'm like, all right, that's what they're up to. Like, it's like I gotta keep one eye on the situation. You know what I mean? I just want to know what everybody's up to. and as long as I know what's happening, whether I understand it or not, doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's exactly how I feel.
I'm starting to notice a little vibe around here at KFC Radio. I'm starting to notice everyone working out a little bit. I know I go to the gym a lot. I know Paz goes to the gym a lot. I know Jackie goes to the gym every morning. We just recorded a podcast where I think Kevin's might be flirting with it a little bit. He's eating healthier. He's all that stuff. We're on a health kick. We're on a group health kick. We're all in the same cycle right now. And who's helping us hugely with that is Huel. That's why I talked to you about Huel. Huel, it's spelled Huel. It's like fuel, but with an H. It's a complete nutrition brand trusted by millions. Their Black Edition ready-to-drink is a complete meal in a bottle, high in protein, low in sugar, and packed with all the nutrients your body needs to perform at its best. Now, when I say Huel is helping us all out, you're probably like, oh, yeah, John. They are, because we got a fridge in this studio right now. It's a Huel fridge. It's stocked with Huel ready-to-go protein drinks. We got Huel protein powders just sitting on top of the fridge. We are a Huel family in this house. It is a perfectly balanced meal designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs from a meal. Huel takes the guesswork out of eating healthy. It is for your inconvenient meals with no prep, no cooking. Say goodbye to getting hangry and unsatisfying snacks. Just grab a Huel instead, and they also taste good. Take the leap and join the community of Hueligans with the exclusive offer for new customers of 15% off plus a free gift with code KFC15 at Huel, HUEL.com. That's 15% plus a free gift for new customers with code KFC15 at Huel, HUEL.com. Start your year off strong. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
What else do we got?
What did you think of the halftime show? Talked about it already?
yeah. I mean, I'm smack in the middle of a race war again.
Are you? Are you
getting
shit?
Yeah,
Oh,
big time.
no.
I understand I will never be accepted by like rap culture in any sort of way. I'm not even saying like I need to be like in the culture, but if I have a take at all, black people don't care about it. They're never going to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like so many of the comments are like, why does I never understand why like people like this think they can talk about rap. It's just like, it's the most popular genre in the world.
Yeah.
I you know, like
You're a fan.
if you want to just be like, we don't give a fuck what you say, fine. But we're not talking about like a niche that like no white people in the world listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and that was kind of my whole thing with you know, the big response has kind of been like, it's not for you. You don't get it. There's
When people say that to you, you should comment back. Excuse me, the greatest rapper of all time was white.
They really love that one. They really love the Eminem takes. Let me tell you.
Heard of Eminem?
Eminem, Beastie Boys, Everclear, whatever his name was. Yeah, they really do not like me. But
Damn.
But I was tempted to go, but I'm not, because then I'd just be like a white asshole. But I just want to be like, you're not like us. Like this take is for white people. Like, it's not for you. This is not your culture. This is my culture. But then I'm just a racist person.
yeah, I can't do that.
But I just think I've heard so much more of that over the last 24 hours after we talked about it, where it's like, I think if you're talking about the symbolism and the meaning and how you intentionally didn't do what the show usually is and all these things, to me it's like, if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny.
Yeah.
I think if you have to explain the whole thing, and it's like, that's not the place for it. But
I actually think my one critique is like, at the start, I wish that he didn't say like, oh, but like people love to sue or whatever at the start. Like, it would have been cooler if he just didn't address like, am I gonna do it? Like, he just teased it without addressing it.
I think he
Yeah,
just shouldn't
yeah.
have done. I don't know. I think it was very Drake heavy in general. When it, like, I'd be like, I'm not making this about Drake. I'm making this about fucking me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what the
Although I
other
did
theory
like, that
is?
was the best part. That was my favorite part of the performance. I will say this: we were talking about it before. I thought while watching it in real time, I was like, oh, this is entertaining. I'm entertained, and I like Kendrick Lamar and whatever. I like Samuel L. Jackson cameo. I thought that his like joke about like, oh, it's no Kendrick, it's too ghetto, like saying stuff like that. I thought that was like funny. I understood what was going on, what he was trying to do.
That's the other thing. When people are like,
Yeah.
you don't get it, I was like, it was pretty,
Of course
like
you
on
do.
the nose.
Everybody
It's
gets
like,
it.
I'm
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah.
Sam saying you can't do this. I'm gonna do it. It's not like
Of
it was
course.
this subversive.
Yes, like that message loud and clear. No, or no,
No,
is it not?
it's super clear. Someone just gave me a take. You'll probably be able to guess who it was.
Oh no! Oh no!
What did he say?
No, but like, and I was gonna keep it to myself, but now hearing you guys explain it like this, like it's so spot on.
Oh no!
The halftime show was Barbie for black people.
Wow!
Where like most white people are like, I didn't really like it. The nicest thing they say is, yeah, it was pretty good.
I don't want to go down the bar you wrote again. But I'm doing Barbie
I'm
today.
laughing
I was
at
gonna hold it to myself.
No. I'm laughing at that. We've mended those fences. Those fences have long been mended. That is very.
funny, though.
I mean,
The way you guys talk, I was like, that's exactly how we talked about it.
probably, yeah, probably. But
Like,
yeah,
I
I
thought it
think-
was gonna be deeper.
yeah. When I watched it, so what I was saying was like, when I watched it a second time, again, I felt like I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. But also, yeah, I was just entertained. So yeah, if that's how everybody felt about Barbie, then that makes total sense. It makes complete sense.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Greer,
It was.
who was the person who obviously fed me that take,
Yeah.
he
Yeah, okay. I really didn't know after that. I was like, that's a pretty spot on take.
Anytime that's
Yeah.
Greer 100%.
I was going to guess Dante
I
off
was
the
thinking
rip.
it was Dante.
That's a fair
Before you
assumption.
even said it, I
That's a
thought
coin flip.
Dante.
You're right.
He hated
Greer,
it.
we were
Dante
sitting
hated
here,
it.
and Greer said it, and he got a big pop. He's like, this is Barbie for white people, or Barbie for black
That
people.
is really funny. That's really funny.
You know what I
Okay.
heard? An interesting theory that I think actually might play is Kendrick started a new label. He got off of TDE, went to PG Lang, and he now has a licensing deal, meaning he owns 80% of his new music. And he doesn't own any of his old music.
I see.
And so people were like, he ain't doing his old shit because he doesn't want you to go listen to his old shit. He wants to make
Sure.
And that, it's a little bit tinfoil hat, but also like
Fair.
if that's the case, it's like miss me with all the symbolism shit. He just wants fucking money. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm doing the 4th single off my new album rather than my like smash hits because I won't make any money off of that one. So
Interesting.
One like gripe with USC education, which I went, but
yeah, is that you never got one?
Yeah.
My so I was communications degree, and so pretty much like they teach you like the main part of everything communications is they'll have you learn about Black culture, Asian culture, whatever, but then they teach you like you're not going to understand if you're white, if you're not this minority, you will never understand. And they just keep hammering like you will never understand, you're not, this is not for you, whatever, which is, so then you learn like when you read stuff, you're just like, okay, I'm reading this, I'm like trying to understand the best I can, but like I'm never really gonna understand. And it almost like broke me in terms of learning because I don't even try to understand because I'm like, well, I'm never gonna.
I think
like
that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I get that it's like you'll never experience what other people
which is
experience.
sure.
You can say that about anything you learn though. It's like I don't know. I wasn't alive back in fucking World War II, but you learn about it. You have empathy. You have knowledge.
I feel like you learn so you can respect, not necessarily so you can understand. If you can't understand something, it's like, okay, fine, yeah, you haven't walked a mile in those shoes, but at least you can respect the fact that someone else has. Like, shouldn't that be objective?
And it's like, you know what? You haven't walked a mile in a white man's shoes on Instagram talking about hip hop. That's my cross to bear. That's my burden.
You haven't made a joke about Taylor Swift on Twitter as a Swiftie. You don't get it.
Dude, it kills me though. I'm always like, this is the only thing I like to talk about, and you guys don't like me.
It's sad.
I've been listening.
It
I'm
sucks.
so old. I've been listening for so long.
I've got my own people again. It's like that's my people. I thought
know.
those were. They're not our people. They're not our people.
Not like us. Where's your next jet setting?
Oh, Mexico. I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, that's like Mexico tomorrow.
Yes,
That's right.
I am.
Mexico's
For my
like
friends,
that's like your poor trip. Like,
Yeah, no, well,
if it's
and then-
not a European jet setting,
Kevin,
it ain't.
and then in 3 weeks I'm going to Italy.
There it is.
Which is going to be great.
There it is.
Very excited for Italy. No, Mexico is a quick trip for my friend's
where in
40th
Mexico?
birthday.
This is just a
Puerto Vallarta.
You're just going with friends.
Yes,
And
this one is just
Italy
friends.
one where you like team up with people and do like a content thing.
So a lot of people
Do you
ask
get
me
paid for
questions
that,
about
or is
that.
it just like
it ends up evening out, so I get to go for free. So that's why I like to go. And then whatever people pay for, it's like it makes up for myself going, and then the girl that helps plan it. Like, so we end up going for free, but everyone else like pays for the trip and whatever.
This is a pyramid scheme.
Kind
got a
of.
European pyramid scheme going.
I think ultimately she's trying. So I'll explain a little bit of it. So because people are very confused by it, and I didn't. Maybe because I'm on like a different side. I've seen people do these trips before. In fact, I went on one, which is how I kind of got involved. Not last year, but the year before, I went to Greece for the first time, and I did like a writing and yoga retreat, and I just was kind of like, you know what, I need to get the fuck out. Like, it was just one of those things. Hosted by Kat Marnell, an author I really love, and it was so much fun. And we did like writing workshops every day, and we did yoga every day. Like, it was pretty intense, but I really liked it, and I was like, this is super fun, whatever. The girl that put it together, like going to the beaches and the bars and where all the places that we went to, she herself lives, her name's Zena, she like lives in LA most of the time. She is Greek, and she is also an actress, so she wants to do like stuff on the side. And so while we were there, she was like, would you ever host a thing like this? And I was like, well, nobody's going to come through and like do writing exercises. Like, I don't have a book, I'm not this, whatever. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I don't think anyone will come. last year we did the Greece thing, and a ton of people came. It was like I think 15 of us maybe total.
So when you say come, like you mean
Like,
just like you
go
all
on the
plan your
trip.
trip, but like are you buying a ticket to something, or
You
like,
have to
you just agree to all go to the same
You pay
place?
Xena. You
Got
buy
it,
your own
okay.
flight, and then you pay Xena a certain amount of money, and then your food, lodging,
It's like an all-inclusive.
all inclusive.
okay.
Everything we do, everywhere we go, all paid for. And so we did the Greece one, and it went over great. And so we were like, all right, let's do another one. So we're doing Greece again in the summer, so people want to do that. But then we tried to do a wine trip in the fall, and something happened with the trip, didn't work out. So we threw in this last minute like Sicily trip, and her friend has like a villa that we can all stay in, and it's this big thing. And there's like same thing, like 15 people want to
Is
come.
this all chicks? Or
and-
you guys fucking?
No, it's people are fucking.
Oh yeah.
People are fucking.
Oh, I said that as a joke. I
There's-
thought this was like a women only.
People think it's girls only, and I get why people would think that. But no, last year we had 3 guys, I think. Yeah, 3
Oh,
or 4
those guys have cracked the code.
and this
Ladies,
time
let's
around,
do yoga.
Oh yeah.
Let's do our writing
Oh,
workshop.
yeah. This is a
Fucking
nice
clapping.
little
No, we
villa
don't
we
do-
got
yeah.
here. Huh?
we don't do
Montoya
like
Por
all
Favor.
that. Like we pretty much just drink and eat. Like on my trips, so we pretty much drink and eat, and then we do talk about like people do come and they're interested in content. And they'll ask me questions and stuff like that, which I give as much advice as I can. Like nobody thinks I'm like a star. It's just like whatever. And but we always have a really good time, and you stay friends with these people. You got the jokes, this, that. Some people come back for repeat trips. I've got people coming on this trip that came with us to Greece, so it's kind of like just making a group that want to travel and don't
It's
necessarily
like a book
have
club,
like
but goes international.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And it's great for me personally because 1, I want to go to all these places. 2, I'm fine traveling alone, but there are certain places I won't go by myself because it's like, whatever.
Mexico City is
True.
good.
Although Mexico City, yeah, I've been there. It's not so bad.
I'm alive.
But Mexico is tough. Mexico is tough. But yeah, so it all in all, it ends up being this like exciting opportunity for me mostly, and then other people get to come and enjoy themselves, and it's somewhere, it's just a different. Everything's off the beaten path. It's not like touristy stuff.
Right,
Although we are in Sicily going to the vineyard that they went to in White Lotus season 2. I'm very excited.
Whoa.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Very excited.
Yo, you know what's interesting? I don't know if I'm late to the party on this one. Did you know that the movie Sideways like killed the Merlot business?
Yes.
They,
No.
like, when
I
he
am
says
not
I'm not
drinking
fucking
fucking
drinking Merlot,
Merlot. Yeah.
they like vineyards everywhere said Pinot Noir skyrocketed and Merlot like literally tanked.
Wow, that's
For
crazy.
no, like-
well, Pinot
I
Noir
fucking
is
love
better than Merlot.
I like Merlot.
Giamatti
I like
said
it, but I like Pinot Noir better.
Giamatti said he knows nothing about wine. I think it was one of those. This wasn't in the script things that I always talk about. I think he just like said it like on a whim. There's no reason. There's no opinion. Like he was just like I did it, and like there's probably some fucking Merlot vineyard out there that was like
I was wondering if
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's be better than the Gap. I would like to see
Yeah.
if it tanked Gap's.
Yeah.
rating.
I
Yeah,
think
Gap,
so.
because Gap was a little something, and then
Yeah.
basically not until they
LL
were
Cool J fall into the Gap. bro.
revitalized by Kanye.
By Kanye, yeah. I was like, it came right back up when Kanye partied with him, but now, now it's like, Gap has good jeans, I'll say.
They have good
Gap,
t-shirts.
I think Gap and like
They're
Old
fine.
Navy jeans, shit like that is like, to me
It's
that's
good basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so I'll be in Mexico, and then I'll be in Sicily. And then I think I'm extending that trip because I realized, I was trying to like plan it out, March Madness, it gets hairy with that because I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
missing stuff and like,
Right.
we're
what was
whatever.
there was one of your trips during like something Barstool.
Oh my God!
What
Well, it was the first one. It was the trip that I
Yeah.
took, the Greece trip.
It was like
I
when
planned.
Dave bought the company or
Yes,
something?
I planned
Yeah.
France right before it, and I literally emailed. This is another thing of me just making sure that I'm not in trouble for like doing something.
Yeah.
I'm emailing Dave and Gaz what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to France first. I'm doing this retreat. I'm going to blog the whole thing. I'm going to
Making
put
content.
videos.
Yeah.
I'm going to France first. I'm going to post all these things. Whatever. Literally the day after I get there is when he bought the company back, fired 100 people, and I said I can't.
Yes, I remember
I said I
that.
can't be posting. So I didn't.
Yeah.
I posted a couple wine reviews, and I was like, I can't be the fucking bitch on vacation in the south of France right now. Like it's just
Well,
not a
there's
good time.
a red wedding going on.
Yes,
in Barstool.
I was like,
People
this is
literally
horrible. So that
massacred.
completely fell off, and I was like, now this trip again, I'm trying to do what I was doing then, but now, and I'm just not going to email anybody. Like I don't need to. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do it. And I think it's going to be
my
fine.
radar has been off on those things. A
Yeah.
couple people recently have been in a similar spot. I need to do this thing. It conflicts with Barstool. Should I tell Dave? And most times I say, tell him. And every
It's usually
time
let
not
him
fired.
know.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I don't give that advice anymore.
I don't.
What the fuck was that? Is it fire?
Fire?
Nah, he's gonna make some speech.
Imagine if it's like a
Okay.
real speech, like Mein Kampf. He's like,
Yeah, right. Anyway,
Um,
but yeah, I think right. Telling him is whatever. I think I just need to put out
Content
I
while
just
you
need to do
do
it. I just need to do what I want to be doing.
John was saying
hope
this
it works out,
just last
you know?
episode. It's like, just do the shit that you're.
I fucking knew it, you son of a bitch.
I know.
Slow
Why does he do
play.
that?
Give your little speech.
This is your 5 cent director speaking.
Okay.
What?
You along with the 6
Yeah.
You leave these in when they come on the show?
Well, sometimes that boosts his audio.
Well, I turn him up. I'm not ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
I have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
Oh yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
I bet that's going to get posted.
Listen to this on Friday.
Today's episode of KFC Radio is brought to you by Season 8 of Love is Blind on Netflix, February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. So if you're going to...
Happy Valentines.
What's that?
It's from 30 Rock. Okay. It's just me being annoying is what it is.
Love is Blind is the best reality show out there right now. And even if you're not too heavy of a reality show guy, it is a very enjoyable show that like your girl's going to love it. It's Valentine's Day. You got to do, your Valentine's Day girly thing. Make it Love is Blind because it'll be entertaining. It's not like other reality shows where you might be like, this is absolutely terrible. You will watch people embarrass themselves and make a mockery of their entire lives right in front of you. It's on Netflix. We're on season 8. It is, to me, the gold standard of reality TV right now. We got a chance to go to the Love is Blind studios and check it all out. And once you're in there, you realize just how goddamn crazy you would be to be like, I'm going to find and marry a person right now
Without ever seeing them.
Is so crazy. I already did a video on it's in Minnesota. All of the singles are from Minnesota, and they're all weird, and there's a bunch of God freaks in there that love it.
Yeah.
There's a heavy religion. There's a couple complete douchebags. There's a couple crazy girls. It is gonna be a train wreck. So check it out on Netflix. First 6 episodes premiere on Valentine's Day, and then I think they do two every single week until they do the big reunion show. So Love is Blind on Netflix, Valentine's Day. Check it out, season 8.
Happy Valentines.
Bye. I love you. Have fun on Fishbowl.
Did you see that Montoya Por Favor happened again?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That guy
I gotta
watched
tune
his
into
girl,
that real
and
time.
She was getting fucked even worse this
But
time.
then so was he.
He was
Remember,
fucking?
he fucked first. It was like
No,
he
did not.
Sorry,
Standing up for Montoya.
In the
He
new
did not.
iteration,
Oh,
she was
okay.
fucking, ran the beach moment. She's crying on the beach, whole thing. Then he went and fucked.
Well,
and she had to watch
sure.
it, right? Well, no, she didn't even watch it. She went up by the host, turned away, didn't look away, and had the other girls narrate it to her, which was hilarious in Spanish. Even I was like,
I know.
woo. And so had that happen, and then again, it was her turn. She was like, no, forget it. So they're having
is
like a
anyone
fuck
on
off.
that show just like, you guys are broken up?
Yeah, of course. They've
Like,
only been
you
dating
haven't-
for a year.
I know.
They've only been dating for a year.
Everyone's like, this is fake. I'm like, I don't think it's fake,
No,
but
I
I
think so.
definitely think it's like.
It's exaggerated.
I was watching a clip of Ricky Lake. I follow.
I
that
love Ricky
90s
Lake.
account, and it was just the whole theme of the show was you dumped me and look at me now.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
just this girl. Like her name was literally Karen. I thought it was a joke. Her name was Karen. She had like the most Karen haircut and like and this white trash boyfriend next to her was like, you don't look that good. And Ricky Lake was like, she looks great. What are you talking about? And,
Yeah.
But he looks like you, Ricky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love Ricky Lake. I miss
But
her.
I feel like it's those things. Like those shows were real, but like we know what we're doing here. I think that's what's going on here.
Have you guys watched that Jerry Springer doc thing yet?
Is it new? Like I've watched.
It's within the last couple weeks, I think.
Oh no, I haven't watched that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I've
like
seen things on that before. Jerry Springer was a gangster. They went to court and shit.
No, I know.
Because there was that murder, and they were like, these shock hosts are culpable. And Jerry Springer, who was like a lawyer and I think mayor of Cincinnati and shit, who was like very well educated, he like got on the stand and like blew it out of the water and was like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
these white trash people know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely.
We're paying them a little bit. Like everybody wins. It's not my fault. Fuck off. And I was like,
It was-
even because I was like, this is a little weird. And he was like, shut the fuck up.
It really was like that. Like he all the blame fell on him because he was the host, but in reality, it was like the people behind the scenes, like finding these people.
Yeah.
And they said there was like there's like the triangle, and it was like Ohio, Mississippi, and Alabama, like anywhere
just
in
keep
that
going.
spot. Like that's where the people they would find.
Yeah.
And they were like, that was like our factory that's what we'd find.
I mean,
these
it's
people.
That's like
definitely
the
exploited.
And for sure it is, but so that's basically the argument. But the last straw, what took him off the air for like a few days or something was they had a guy come on who has sex with his like mini horse. And he was like, the horse comes out and he's like, you're married to your horse. And he's like, yeah. And then they're like, he's making out with the horse on the stage. It was sick. Like I was like, ew. Even I was like, too far. Like take it off.
Well,
like
the
gross.
big thing, I don't think it was Jerry Springer. I think it was like Geraldo, but like they brought somebody on and then they outed him or they outed somebody was having gay sex, I think, and they outed him.
Okay, yeah.
And he
That's
went
terrible.
home and murdered people. And it was like,
Oh, that's awful.
but Jerry Springer was like, that's not my
That's
fault.
not on me. Yeah, I didn't do this. There was also one. Oh, fuck. This scares me.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? This is your fire safety director speaking. Please be advised that we received a false alarm on the 6th floor. We apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause.
This does sound like Mussolini, Hitler-ish, right? The
Yeah,
way it
something
sounds
weird about
like
it.
It's any of the static.
Yeah.
yeah, it makes it sound old.
I know that because there's a bar, Churchill Inn,
Churchill's? Yeah, I've been there.
on like it's over by the old office.
Yeah,
It's like
28th
30th and
and-
Park or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, I know that
If you
place.
go into the bathrooms there, they just have Churchill speeches playing. And I remember the first time I walked in because it's so grainy and it's so like old English
Yeah.
that you can't even make out the words. And I was like, is this Hitler's speech?
Yeah.
Damn. That'd be tough.
Dude owns
This bar rocks.
Dude, imagine there was a
Kanye loves this
bar
place.
right now.
Kanye's number one spot.
God.
How many
Flying
people?
swastikas
How many people
outside.
you think bought those T-shirts? I said probably a couple hundred.
Which is what
The swastika T-shirt.
Yeah,
where
just
it's just
straight
a
up on
fucking
swastika,
swastika.
right?
You don't think that many?
No.
In the
I
world.
I think
There
like
are some
10,
Kanye
20.
stands.
I think a couple hundred because people buy that shit for novelty
I
reasons.
think people
which I hate,
drastically
obviously.
overestimate merch sales.
Yeah, well, Yeezy was always a scarcity thing, not a
Yeah.
like it was expensive
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
true.
made like 200 pairs.
But
Yeah,
even
that's
I remember back in the day, particularly when Barstool was really moving merch, which I don't think we do much anymore. But like, we'd sell a shirt and people would be like, "Are you giving money to so and so for this?" It's like, we made $200 on this.
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
Like, I
What
don't
is
know if he
this?
wants the $50. Yeah, we'll hook him up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
right.
Have him send an email. We'll give him the $50. But
Yeah.
like a good shirt sells like 30 shirts, and that's not even just for like shitty merch stuff. That's also for like I've gotten to know some people who like make clothes and stuff, and they're like, yeah, if I sell 50 of these, that's good.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
It's not like everyone kind of like, and these are
I'm
like
just curious
not
'cause it's like
little
it's
brands,
such
but not
a-
big brands, but like brands that are doing well, and like yeah, hopefully I'll sell 50 of these sweaters.
But
Like,
but
hope
then
they
there's
sell
like
zero,
you know
but
then
I'm
there's like
thinking about
Alex Coopers who are moving like thousands of
yeah,
fucking-
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
But that's like the pure like. I think just whenever someone puts something on sale, particularly if you're part of a larger company like this, you think, oh, that's gonna
everyone's
work.
buying it.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
It does not.
I hope not.
Move
I just
that
don't have faith in the people. Question for you: Are you is Kanye in the rear view? Are you ready to? Because I know that you like his music, obviously. But
Yeah, but like no, I
is he dead to you now?
yeah.
Generally speaking?
I mean, look, when he tweets "I'm a Nazi," I still laugh, but
fair.
I don't like the Nazi stuff.
Yeah.
I like the fat bitches stuff. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that is funny. I laugh at that.
no, but I like I don't really listen to rap much at all anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of disconnected from that world. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say.
I mean,
wouldn't-
I would like his music has. That's another like it's very
feel like
similar to
it's even good
Kendrick. It's like
anymore? Yeah.
like people just don't want to let go of Kanye.
Yeah.
Shit sucks. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like
I still
not-
liked. I think Ye was the last album I liked. I like that. I don't go back and listen to it or anything crazy like that. But
Yeah,
That's the other
when
thing.
I heard
how
it,
much,
I
how
enjoyed
much
it.
I like
Right.
has changed. It's like even like Eminem's album. I was like, I like it. I'm never listening to that song
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
used to be
same.
like.
I listened to 2000s pop punk. That's it.
Yeah,
and
you know
RC
what?
Drive.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
hate to say it. I was listening the other day. It popped up on my like shuffle. I was like, the last time I like really like listened to like a lot of songs on an album and liked it, it was fucking MGK. I liked his pop.
Oh,
Dude, Tickets
yeah,
to My
there's-
Downfall
fuck out.
The, like,
bang.
country
I mean,
album or
there's like
whatever?
that's the last time I listened to an album and I was like, I like 8.
I
or
think
9 songs.
Tickets to My
Right.
Downfall like restarted pop punk. Like,
I think
agree.
Tickets to My Downfall
Blink's
was
on
a
tour
Blink.
again. Fucking Fall Out Boy's on tour again, and all of this could have been coming organically. I don't know. I didn't follow
No,
the trends
I
that
think
much,
you're right.
but
I think
like,
you're right.
It-
I
it
think
does
that was
make
a
sense.
Blink
Yeah.
album.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think
oh,
Travis
yeah.
Barker
seemed
was
very
like, I'm
much
just going
like
to give
that.
this to
And then-
MGK.
And it was great. And you're right about the timing of it. It was kind of like time for those things to come back. Like, in fact, I know you know this also too, Kevin, as well. You can see fashion trends starting again, and
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
is a good indicator of like what's coming with music and TV and whatever. And punk stuff was kind of working its way in, but then MGK came over the top. I think.
Right,
I
yeah.
really do believe you in that.
it was him, and then Avril Lavigne did Love Sucks, which Travis Barker also produced and also is a fucking awesome album.
He's a gangster.
And then
He's
after
the
that,
best.
it feels like everyone started rolling again.
Did you see him talking on? He went on Bert's show. He was either a guest bear or was on Bertcast, and he was talking about running. It's still my favorite thing, Travis Barker at that, because he was like, I think that 5K was like his first. So he explained it. He said the doctors had told him after the plane crash, you're never like gonna run again, and he was like, I just do like everything they told me was never gonna
For
happen
what
again.
reason? Like,
I guess he was injured and
like
whatever,
heart stuff?
whatever happened.
Like, oh,
yeah,
wow, I had no
but so
idea.
he was like, I do it, like to prove them wrong. And he's talking about running half marathons and all that shit. But at the Bert Kreischer at the Two Bears 5K, it was just like that. It almost felt like an Out of Order skit. It was like this guy showed up and ran as hard as he could,
Full sprint.
dusted everybody, lapped them, and left.
it's amazing.
Didn't stop running when he crossed the finish line. Just kept
Right
running
to the
to the
car.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Right to the car. It was like a herd
He
of
just did
people.
another one.
They're following Jelly Roll. Everyone.
Yeah.
See you
So
later,
funny.
losers.
He just did another one with dragging Courtney across the line. Did you see that?
No,
was
I didn't.
dying.
That's great.
It was him. 'cause
Yo,
I
what
had
is
known
going
from-
on with Kim Kardashian and Luca? That's fucking weird.
no
Are
idea.
those posts real?
I have no idea.
So she posted one that was like the first tweet, like Lakers were like, "Welcome Luka Doncic," and she posted like, "When does he play? Like, I want to go watch him."
Yeah.
And then I saw one. I don't know if it was fake or whatever, but it said like, I should look this up because
Wasn't it
it's
like
gotta
all
be-
good, don't come or
Yeah,
something
she
like that?
she said I need to learn Slovenian or something like that.
Right.
Serbian, whatever he speaks, and
Yeah.
and he commented like, "No, don't.
I mean, that can't
It
be.
can't be real.
Can't be
right?
real. Yeah.
It can't.
People
be
were
real.
getting
But
got
she-
yesterday
she's-
by a Lana
she-
Del Rey similar situation.
She's posting like thirsty, like I want to go see Luca. People are like, he's got a wife, and like,
like,
what are
shut
you
up.
doing? Like,
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing.
Who knows? I truly have no idea what's going on. I have not been keeping
Kim,
up
you
with
know he's
Kardashians.
white,
Yeah, no, I have. Yeah,
You have not been
I have
keeping up
not
with the
been keeping
Kardashians?
up with the Kardashians. So I really don't know what's going on in their world. Apart from Kylie, who suddenly is the only one I'm keeping track of because she's dating Timmy, and which is exciting.
That's what Pavs calls him.
Timmy. Yeah. I call him Timmy all the time. Yeah, I love it. Exactly. Thank you. That's what you call your besties. But yeah, no, I have no idea what's going on in their
Dude,
world. And
just to be clear, so I don't think that one was real, but she did say, does anyone know when he's playing? I want to meet him with a lip biting emoji.
ew,
That's weird.
what the
That's
fuck,
weird.
Kim? And right, he's
That is
married with
fucking weird.
kids.
I don't know if he has kids, but I think they say he's married.
You gotta look shit up before you comment stuff like that. Like if someone's married or whatever, you can't be commenting thirsty ass comments.
Yeah.
Like you can,
Weird.
unless it's like Hugh Jackman.
I don't-
He's not even married. Like I don't know.
Oh, they get divorced?
Yeah, because he's dating Sutton Foster now.
I don't know who that is, but.
Another Broadway legend.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait. Now
You
it
know
rings
her.
a bell. Rings
You know
a
her if you
bell.
saw her. You know her if you saw her
Yeah.
for sure.
I had an interesting night last night that I think you'll appreciate.
Please share. Dying to, what could this be on Monday night? What were you up to?
So I went to Dan Carney, who was just on KFC Radio last episode, has a new web series out called Run Club. Very funny. It's like 5-minute episodes. And they kind of had a premiere last night. And he'd come on the show, he'd DM me, invited me, and I was like, of course I'll come. And then I didn't realize it was at 10 p.m. So last night at like...
Ooh,
Tough ass
10
for you in your
p.m. on
30s.
a Monday night.
And I'd been on the road for like a week and a half. I got
Yeah.
back Sunday. I was so tired. But I was like, I have to go. I told him I'd go. And Paz and Owen were going to come, and they both were like, we didn't know it was at 10. Very understandably. We're like, we're tired. Paz has been in New Orleans all week. Everyone's tired, right? I get it. But then I was like, I think I'm going to bail too. And I finally was like, I'm just going to go. Whatever. I'll be like the weird guy in the corner
Yeah.
alone. I don't know. Whatever.
Sure.
And then there's another weird guy in the corner alone. And he's kind of like floating around. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Can you even? I want to see if you can even guess.
I know who that is.
I have no idea who this could be.
Let's say very popular '90s movie, very Scandi and sexy, like teenage heartthrob type of movie.
Rob Lowe?
No. So
Oh, movie star? I have not
Right,
even
he's
a single clue. Like,
no, he's a huge movie star.
I have no idea who this
And
could be.
and so I was like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Dude, I thought it was you." Ended up watching the whole show with him, talking to him for like an hour. He's the fucking man. It was Ryan Felipe.
What? Oh my god!
I knew you'd like that one.
He's the man, by the way. He's cool.
He was, dude. It
No,
was like
I love him.
it was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Like it's a smaller production, and it was in the basement of a bar in the East Village, and he was like, "Yeah, I followed Dan on Instagram. I think he's funny," and I DM'd him. I told him I wanted to come. So he was just there solo.
How
I was
nice.
like,
You guys have interviewed Ryan. Before,
yeah,
right?
and that's why
yeah.
he like I mean we interviewed him on Zoom during
Sure.
the pandemic. I thought there was no way he'd know who I was. He's like, tell Kevin I said what's up. Like
It's like a highlight of my life when we did our interview on Zoom. We popped up and he goes, "I know you. You're the 1 Minute Man." And I was like,
What? Yeah.
He was like he was
that's
such a cool dude.
amazing.
I think just him going to that is so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like
that
it
is
was
cool.
it ended up being a great
Does
night.
he live
It was
in
really
here?
fun.
Live in New
No, his kid goes to
he flew in for the Run Club premiere.
It was they're Philly fans, so he had watched the
so
Super
they're
Bowl with
still-
his son. His son goes to NYU.
Got it.
He'd watch the Super Bowl with his son, and then was just still
Brian
in town.
Felipe has a son who's in NYU.
Oh yeah. Well, those kids, you've seen the 2 kids, Ava and I forget the son's name, but
Deacon, I believe.
Deacon, yeah.
Who's the
are
mom?
Reese
Reese
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
Right.
They are carbon copy. Like Ava is Reese and Deacon is Ryan. Like they are exactly
DNA is
carbon
awesome.
copies. Like and they're they all seem really sweet. They seem like normal.
Yeah, no,
like
he was
they're
like
pretty normal
We
people.
just you want to know the most normal thing he did because me and him we were standing talking when the show started. So he was like, "Let's grab a chair, let's just sit down."
Yeah.
And so we both like grabbed a bar stool, and the episodes are short; they're about 5 minutes, but we watched 3 of them. So Ryan and I were just sitting next to each other on a bar stool for 15 minutes. And we're both older guys at this point.
Oh, right. I see
we
your
both
back.
kept starting to the back.
yeah.
Right? And as soon as it ended, I was like, fucking hard sitting on a bar stool these days.
Was he like, tell me about it, man? Tell me about it.
He's like, I feel myself start slunching. I try and straighten up. I was like, yeah, no, I get it, bro. I got about an extra 100 pounds up here than you.
Fucking Ryan Felipe has a 6-pack. He's all jacked.
That's
and shit.
amazing.
They're not together still, are they?
No, they're not. They're not.
No, but he was the
I would
fucking
have
man.
been. I would have been like. I think really starstruck. Well, Cruel Intentions is one of my favorite movies of all time, and of course, I know you did last summer, like the whole franchise. I love all
I
that.
actually
but
said it 'cause we
Cruel
were standing
Intentions
there.
really like, oh my god.
We were standing there talking, and like I love the show Shooter, which he's a star.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And I literally watch it all the time.
Amazing.
And
Jim Bob Cooter?
Bobby
No,
Lee Swagger.
Bobby Lee Swagger.
And
What a name.
I was like we started talking, and like the only thing in my head is like shooter. And then like there's a little silence, and then we start up with a new topic, and my head just going shooter. And finally, I was just like, I gotta tell you, I still watch Shooter like 3 times a year. And he's like, how many times a year?
He's like,
Well,
"That's too much."
I got a gripe to pick with him though, because he was in that show like a couple years ago. And I was
Big
excited for it.
something.
And
that
they
was
fucking
the
axed
Big
him in the
Sky.
first episode.
Big Sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
That show looked amazing.
It was like a Taylor Sheridan type of like, Montana
Oh.
With the
crime,
mist.
whatever.
Dude,
and
you know what
yeah.
else?
whacked him in the first episode. I was like, this is the reason I'm watching, bro.
Yeah.
He we
did
actually
the same
exchanged
thing.
numbers. He wants to come on the show in May because he's got a new show coming out.
Great.
And
My boy is networking.
I was just like, oh my god.
He's on the road.
network
He's getting
darling.
numbers. He's talking to people.
Look at him go. Going to events alone.
I know.
Crazy
well, that's
bitch.
why you were saying like I'd be so starstruck. I was incredibly starstruck.
Yeah.
I was just drowning.
Yeah, of
And
course.
There was
Your
another
lifeline
buoy.
was
And
right.
you're
there.
I was like, all right, another buoy. Here we go.
Yeah.
But he was. I think I can talk about this. I'm sure we'll Google it to see if it's out yet, like at least the synopsis of the show. But he's like, I got a new show coming out in May. It's on Prime. It's like Friday Night Lights mixed with Fast and Furious. And
Oh my god.
I jumped off the bar stool, lifted up my sweatshirt. I was wearing a Fast and Furious t-shirt. I was like, brother, whatever you want to talk about that, come on the show.
He must have been like, geez. this guy watches Shooter and wears Fast merch. Get out of here. Never mind. I don't want to come on the show.
You didn't have like what's the? Don't you have like a Tim Riggins T-shirt? Or
I also have
the
that.
Dylan Panthers
I was not
shirt?
wearing that one time.
Yeah.
I was wearing a Fast 7 t-shirt
Yeah.
because I had an idea a while ago. Bob Fox sent me a link for Fast and Furious t-shirts. It was like some artist he follows does like drops kind of deal.
Cool.
And he did a drop of all individual Fast and Furious shirts, and Bob Fox sent me the link, and he's like, yeah, you'll probably like want to grab one of these. And I was like, I'm gonna get all 9. And I'm gonna wear them in a row and see if Kevin even notices. And I just kind of forgot. But so now I just have one drawer that's just full of Fast and Furious t-shirts.
Damn, I'm pissed you said this out loud. I wanted you to do
you
it.
should have done
Okay,
it,
yeah. Now he's gonna know first time you see it.
And
Still might not.
Yeah, you
but
still might
but yeah, then we started talking about Fast and Furious, and I mean he's just
Wait,
the man.
he was not.
No, he was not in it. He was offered the role. Paul Walker
I
took
was
it.
going to say, he's very Paul Walker.
Yeah, he did.
is.
He did
well,
an indie film instead.
They were also hot and popular at the same time. Like it was like Cruel Intentions, Into the Blue, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then that's right around when Fast and Furious, I think, started.
Yeah.
It's like right around that same time. And yeah, they have similar look, similar face. Only difference was Ryan Phillippe's characters always are like have a little more attitude and like swagger to them. Versus
Yeah.
Paul
he had
Walker
a good show
was,
that where he was like it was like a Gone Girl thing. He was like the husband accused of murder. It was like a like a
What was
Hulu
that
show.
show?
It was good. He's got a couple heaters in there.
That was a good show. I
forget
don't
that.
remember the name.
Motorhead.
It's not out, but like at least
It's not
the
out, yeah,
story
yeah.
is out. Like
That's-
people know the
Yeah.
show. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to obviously
It's
like
been announced.
drop that
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
been announced. But
Motorhead's very cool. I bet my dad, that sounds like something my dad would like as well.
yeah, I mean, I was
yeah.
like Fast and Furious, like
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well, I always love watching, and I have hope for like us as well as we get older, where it's like if you hang around long enough and you're professional enough and you're talented enough, and your audience kind of grows with you, like you all of a sudden have this whole new, like he probably can do all these new roles, being a father and being the older guy. It's like I was the teenage heartthrob, and then maybe in the middle, like you lose a little bit of work, but then all of a sudden you come back as like the 40-year-old guy or whatever, and it's like.
Right.
You can have so many acts to your career as long as you kind of stick around and keep your talent. you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's the man.
I think that's one of the cooler moves I've seen a celebrity do. Which is like
Show
I'm
up
gonna
to
go
that,
to like
yeah.
this kind of
Did
underground.
Dan know he was coming, or was he like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dan knew he was coming.
Because that would be even like.
I mean, that's
amazing.
so cool. Wow, how fun.
It
went
was.
to-
I
went
think
to
it
a
was.
comedy thing the other day.
It was
You guys would be
so
shocked.
surprising. We can say 1 second.
Yeah,
It was so surprising. I think that he was there. That at one point, Homeless Pimp was there, like kind of like documenting it. And at one point, Pimp took a picture of me and another guy while I was standing next to Ryan Phillippe. I was like, I think Pimp doesn't even know that this
Doesn't
is
even know
Ryan.
this is-
Or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Pimp had already seen him and taken pictures. I don't know.
Right.
But it was like,
But he was just in the
I was
midst
like,
like that.
no, this guy's this is the one.
It's so funny.
But it's also, I introduced them, and I don't know what Pimp's name is. So I was like, Ryan, this is Pimp, this is Ryan.
Who is Pimp? Yeah, I don't
Homeless
know.
Pimp
Who
Homeless
is like
Pimp,
the
he's-
producer extraordinaire for mainly Nate Bargatze now, but he's
Sure.
done Chris Stefano, he's done
Soder.
Travis Palminteri, Soder,
like
everybody
It's
in
part
our
of the
little
crew.
circle. He's like produced,
Got it.
and I think he kind of started out like he's basically like a Pabs type, like started out being like I'll just film your podcast, and then I think he produces Nate's like arena tour. Like,
Yeah.
he is,
Hell
like,
yeah.
he's
That's
really
amazing.
talented. Yeah,
Good for
but he
him.
dresses like swaggy, and I think DeStefano might have been the one who's like, you look like a homeless pimp, and that like stuff.
That's really funny.
Factor meals. My God. I still think about the buffalo chicken dip. I still think about the Baja chicken. I still think about the steak. It was like an Angus beef steak with some roasted potatoes. The salmon. Oh my God, the Baja salmon. Then they had the breakfast with they had different flavored pancakes. They had like orange pancakes, blueberry pancakes. I mean, Factor is one of the all-time great inventions in cuisine because all of these meal prep things, if you're not cooking them, if they're just like microwavable, they always come out trash. Somehow Factor has gourmet meals that are microwavable, and it doesn't overcook them. It doesn't dry them out. It's amazing. You can still have like a juicy steak after popping it in the microwave for 2 minutes. You can have fish that you leave in your fridge and you microwave it. Delicious. It is a miracle what Factor does. To me, it's the best, and you don't have to cook any of it. It is all right there in the tray with one of the best menus in the game, from snacks, desserts, meals, different types of if you have different diets, different whatever, they've got you completely covered, and it's no mess, no stress, and you stay well fed. Right now, you can get 50% off when you go to factormeals.com/
KFC 50 off.
and use promo code.
KFC 50 off.
You have to eat. You don't want to go shopping. You don't want to spend money on groceries. You don't want to have to cook. You don't want to have to do dishes, but you still want to eat well. Factor is for you. Truly. Factormeals.com/
KFC 50 off.
promo code.
KFC 50 off.
Guys, I'm going to tell you about an old pal of mine, an old friend named Mr. Evan Williams. Evan Williams, one of the first distilleries in America, and Game Day's #1 pour. And you will find them cheering with fans in every corner. They don't play favorites. They don't pick sides. From center court to the gridiron and everywhere in between, if you are a fan of Kentucky's first distiller, you should consider yourself a part of Bourbon Nation. Known for its smooth, approachable profile, featuring caramel, vanilla, oak, hints of spice and sweetness, it works for sipping straight, on the rocks, or as a base in cocktails like the old-fashioned. Let me tell you guys, I was an old Evan Williams man like you can't even imagine. I had windowsills lined with Evan Williams because that's how people would know I was cool. And it is delicious. It's incredible. Who doesn't like Evan Williams? Enjoy game day's #1 pour. Buy now. Join Bourbon Nation. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Bardstown, Kentucky. 43 to 45% alcohol by volume.
How was DC? Sorry if you've already talked about it.
It was fun.
Good.
It was good. Yeah.
Well, we didn't talk about it though, right?
Two of my
bombed.
friends
says he
saw you and
bombed,
Francis.
but-
Oh, I mean, he's a liar probably.
Yeah.
Two of my friends saw you guys and they were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, go say hi. And they won't. I'm like, my friends will always text me when they see you or Francis or whoever. Like a lot of my friends have seen you guys like do comedy stuff.
Really?
And they are like, oh,
What night
we
did they
saw him
see
walking
it?
on the street. No, you guys like walking on the street Saturday, I think. And I was like, oh yeah, they're there for whatever. And they're like, yeah, how do you know? And I was like, because they're my friends. I don't know. That's how I know. Weird that you didn't say hi. Be like, go say hello. Be like, I'm Kelly's close friend.
How about this? Francis told him, I had a plan for if you sucked to like politely kick you off of my
Not
club.
easy to play. He's just like, I would have told you.
Oh, yeah.
I would have found
Fair.
a way to not allow you to keep coming. Which I think is completely understandable.
I know, but I don't think you need to say that.
Why? But I
You don't
found it
even
very
tell him-
complimentary.
right, you don't
where he
get-
was like,
sure,
I would have. He's like, I don't need to.
yes,
I would have found
I
a
guess
way.
so.
But like,
I say, yeah, in the end, it's a
Sure.
compliment, but it definitely means that leading up to it, he was like, this guy might suck.
Yeah, he
well,
might-
which is
that's
a fair thing
that's
to
fair.
think.
Yeah,
Fair,
I
I
just
mean,
fair.
don't know if you need to say that.
no, but like, I mean, like that would be crazy
Maybe
to
like
not
when
have
it's-
that.
when it's
thought. Like,
over,
what
be
if
like,
Fight
"Good thing
sucks
you were
and this
good."
ruins the whole fucking weekend and all of my
Imagine if
fans
you went up there 6 shows and sucked all of them.
I think I bombed. I Saturday night, the Saturday first show, the 7 p.m. Saturday show, I think it's probably pretty damn close to a bomb.
Okay.
But it was the crowd. It was like they would laugh, but it would be like ha ha ha. Right, like it
Right,
wasn't like
sure.
a rolling laughter.
Yeah, just that.
and it,
like
like,
that.
up there though, like it was actually. I think I was texting Kevin afterwards. I was like, I'm very happy because like I didn't really care. Like it was.
Sure.
I
it out
was
of the
doing
way.
my jokes, and it was
Like
you know,
anything else, the fear of something happening is always worse than the thing happening.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, okay, it happened. It wasn't that bad. But I would say all in all, it was a very good weekend. I think I had 2 really good shows, 2 good shows, and 2
you do
not
crowd
so
work?
good shows.
There you go.
Not really. I actually, because I think I'm gonna do shows with them in Providence in April. And I was kind of thinking I should probably start trying to some of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Fabulous.
You know, crowd work is almost like, I think is like the highest form because you're kind of doing like improv, but then it became hacky over the last couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, people
but
started
it's
also
like-
it for the TikTok clips.
And it's
know,
all,
it
but
just
I also
became-
like real crowd work. I think is amazing.
Yes.
The crowd work when it's like, what do you do for a living? You answer with your job, and you're like, well, you're not a doctor, and then you launch into your doctor jokes.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's not crowd work.
Right.
Like,
But it's also
whatever
like-
they
You're
said
looking for
they
someone
were
to
gonna
cue you up for a joke you already have. Right.
Yes.
It was the cool part about. I mean, the whole thing was cool, but like the really cool part about it was basically learning. I mean, I'm a 101 student. Like I'm learning about how the whole thing works. Like I was asking them an annoying amount of questions, and to the
bet-
point
I
where
bet
know
it
you
sho-
will
I bet it
never
shows
do this,
initiative.
but you should like document this and make content out of it because I think
Yeah, that
people
would
would
be
be
cool.
fascinated about like how to become a comedian. I know
Yeah.
you're not going to do it.
Are you writing in your notebook at least?
a little bit.
This
you go.
motherfucker. So we go to where were we? Is that LA?
LA.
LA. And that dude carries his book everywhere.
I know.
I'm waiting for the day that someone like shoots us and the bullet hits the book. I have my book on me. And
So
one of our
true.
friends hit him was like, I got time up on stage if you want to go. And it's the one time he didn't have his notebook on, and he just did it anyway. Rolled
Oh,
up,
but that's
no
great.
problem.
I did. I was
show.
in the hotel lobby, and I was like, I don't have my notebook with me. And then I thought, hey, John, why don't you fucking chill out? No one's gonna be begging you to get on stage tonight.
And they fucking
And they
did.
literally did. Wow. So now it's surgically attached.
Yeah.
You flip pages. It's inside. It's molded in your skin now. Yeah.
But the like learning that it really is like the show is about making everyone feel like it's happening for the first time right now. Like they're
Your
all
act.
yeah
Well,
like
you were
Sure.
mentioning earlier about repeating yourself and how it's awkward. That's the ultimate thing to get over as a comic is that.
yeah. And
Definitely.
they were like yeah, that's where crowd work helps because like then you can use it to launch into a new joke and they're like, wow, he just thought of that.
Yeah.
But he's like, we've been on the road for a year. Like
Yeah.
I know every response to every heckle. I know how to get to that joke from an audience question every
Yeah.
time. Like it is.
Yeah, I don't think people
It's almost
realize
like
how
like a
much-
magician.
Yes,
like I'm
yes,
convincing you
it's-
that I'm doing this for the first time.
Totally.
Yeah,
But and
But
I
we-
in the audience as an audience member, you know that, but you just forget it because like
Well,
you want
I
to be
think-
part of
You're
it.
there
also
to
think
see
the
a
really
show.
good
You're like
ones,
you're ready
though-
to have a show put on for you, and you're willing to play along.
Yeah,
I think
right.
is normally what people would think.
Yeah, but I think
Exactly.
even the really good ones still make me feel like you just thought of that, and then I'm always checking myself, being like,
True.
when you look back on it, it's like he didn't really say anything that wasn't necessarily pre-planned. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
magician. It's
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of it is definitely off the cuff, and I always look at Matt Rife's crowd work where like just the craziest things happen, like the mom's FaceTiming the daughter who knows that it's like how the fuck you're just like serendipity. It just
Right,
happened.
like, how do you get
But
so
a lot
lucky?
of it is where you're like looking back on it, that was just you didn't actually. It could have been a guy, it could have been a girl, it could have been young, old. Like
Right.
it just helped you get.
It's like Mad Libs a little.
Yeah. But that's
A formula.
When you do it
perhaps.
that fucking much, it's Have you been heckled yet?
Heckled, no. No.
I was
I've had
gonna
people
Oh, and you
like,
have a Natalie Cuomo. Look at my eyes! I'm fucking fine. I'm trying to learn here.
Well, that's your. I saw that clip. I usually don't see. Now I'm suddenly getting a lot more comedy stuff lately because I went to Lisa Traeger's Netflix.
She's
she has a
funny.
special. I fucking love
She's
her.
funny.
We have
I
her
don't
on
think she
Taylor
likes
Watch.
us.
I don't know. I don't
She's
know
the girl
either.
we met in
At Segura opened.
Segura's,
Yeah.
and he was like, "These are the Barstool guys," and she was like, "Meh."
She came on Taylor Watch. She's a big Taylor Swift fan, and so
She's very funny.
she talked to us. But it was, she did ask us questions like, "How do you deal with like, the bro of it all?"
Yeah.
And we were like,
Yeah, she
"Yeah,
definitely
you just
thinks-
kind of whatever."
Yeah.
But I went to her thing, and it was really fun, really cool. Definitely like a totally different group of like comedians and stuff than you guys probably hang out with. But I recognized all of them, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." Like, I wonder if anybody knows, like where do I fall? People are like, "Who's this bitch?" Like, they don't know me and Gia at all. And but it was fun and it was nice. So I'm getting served more stuff, and all of that was just to say that Natalie Cuomo, who I really like normally and think is funny and is hot, by the way. So hot. But I saw that freak out, and I was like, "Is she okay? Like, what happened there?"
that was intense.
Just like
That's
a crazy
that's
freak.
a very
Sometimes you lose your cool.
50-50.
Like I get that, but what did
Well,
you guys
some
think of
people
it?
were like, "That was awesome," and then other people were like, "That you're a comic. You totally got flustered and lost your cool there."
Yeah. Speaking of someone who loses their cool often, she lost her cool. Like that's like
Yeah.
she rounded it out and made it work. I
Yeah.
think. But normally that's not her back. Like I don't think I've ever seen her. She's usually kind of like whatever, bitch. Like
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised to see it. go off the rails.
By the time I watched it, it had been built up in my head so much because people were talking about it
Sure,
that
yeah.
like, I saw it and I was like, okay, it's a freak out, but like it's not. She didn't hit someone.
Yeah.
Right.
She didn't go Michael Richards.
In the moment, I feel like the crowd
Right.
like cheered for her, and then I think the internet was kind of like,
Well, Twitter hated it. That's how I saw it. And of
Yeah,
course, and then I was
yeah.
like ready to stand up because I was like, oh, I'm not on Twitter. I have to stay off. But I was ready to, in my head, stand up for her. Be like, you know what? No, like I like this girl and I see her and whatever. And then I watch it and I was like, oh, I'm just not going to get involved, I think. I just went on.
speaking of standing up, are we still standing up for Blake Lively?
Yes.
I was like, as more and more came out, I was like, what's Kelly gonna do on this one?
No, yes. But here's the thing. There
That
are
bitch
so
sucks.
many. Well, there are so many avenues that you can go down now, and that is thanks to Justin Baldoni and his PR team. And this is what they want, and that's what I don't understand. How people are not seeing that there was a plan for a PR smear campaign, and they got called out for making the plan. Now they're enacting the plan, and people are falling for
But
it.
to me, I think it's mutual.
No, it's I think completely
They-
died down on her side. I think that she. Okay, wait. I'll quickly. I won't. It'll take me an hour to get through this in my head, but I swear I'll be fast. The Blake Lively stuff. What happened with her when she filed a complaint? That was not supposed to be public knowledge. Justin Baldoni knew it was happening, went ahead and started making a scene for the moment that it did come out. He started defending before people even knew about it. Then the New York Times got wind of it. That was there's gray area there. We don't know who told the New York Times, but people are saying it was Justin trying to get ahead of it. Other people are saying Blake tipped them off. We don't know. And
But definitely, they are lying. By the way, the New York Times. They were like,
No, the New York Times is lying,
They
for
were like,
sure.
everything was public once the case
no,
came
their
out. It was
timeline is something's off about the
shit came
timeline
out in
there.
October,
but
so-
they're the ones that blew this whole fucking thing up. Like the
Yeah.
New York Times thing, like whoever fucked that up
Big time.
because Blake Lively's complaint turned into lawsuit, which wasn't what it was, and then Justin Baldoni comes over the top with his lawsuit. But my problem is that he's being backed by his agency / whatever he works for. Mega millions, like richer than anybody in Hollywood. Like he's not hurting for money, and they're trying to paint it as big guns, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds coming in here trying to take him for all he's got. Not even close. Like they're using now Justin Baldoni as an example against people like Blake and Ryan. Like they're trying to make an example of them. And I don't understand. Like they're trying to Amber Heard them. You know what I mean? And I knew that they lost their shit when they started posting articles and stuff being like Blake Lively burping and farting on set, like blah, blah. I was like, and someone had tweeted it and it was such a perfect way to describe like, once they run out of things to do, they have to paint this like powerful woman as like ugly and gross because that's the only way that like people are really going to start,
Well, but
believing.
I think that's the difference is like Blake Lively being like accusing him of sexual harassment, while Baldoni's side has always just been like, she kind of sucks. Which is
so
like
here's
very
another
different
thing,
than like
I think.
accusing of a crime
Right.
versus like, look at these interviews where it's the Greer.
Right.
Look at this slightly off-putting woman.
No,
Blake
exactly.
Lively.
It is that. And so like it's funny watching it go back and forth, but the sexual harassment stuff, him overstepping during like when they're filming scenes or whatever, there's an interview of him being like, yeah, on the set, I do my thing. And sometimes I get lost in the character of Ryle, the abusive husband. Sometimes I get lost and I'll push boundaries and I look to Blake to tell me when I've gone too far. So he literally said, I go too far on purpose until she says that's too far. And she had enough of it, made a complaint about it, hired the new intimacy coordinator because the other one was like not there all the time, hired it not only for herself, but for the other girl playing young Lily, which to me tells me like, okay, Justin Baldoni's running rampant on the whole set, not just to Blake. And so that's all happening there. I hate Justin Baldoni, by the way. I hate him so much. You can't tell what's going on.
This is North Korea propaganda.
But here's
right
the situation, though, with Blake Lively. I am fully aware that she is cringe. I'm fully aware that she is probably a bitch.
You can't like what she's doing to Taylor, by the way.
But I think that that's also blown out of proportion. I think she said one text being like, yeah, my girl Taylor, she's like Khaleesi, whatever. If my friend's saying that about me, I'm not annoyed. That's the godmother of her children. Taylor Swift is literally Blake Lively's godmother, like all the kids, you know what I mean? All the kids' names are in Taylor Swift's songs. They're extremely close. Saying that offhandedly to someone you don't think the texts are ever going to come public, and then them using that thing to be like, she's using Taylor Swift to weaponize their agenda and whatever, and weaponize feminism and all this bullshit. I totally disagree. Like, I think that is a spin. And I think that I'm watching everything Blake said or did get spun in a way that favors Justin. And the whole time, he's really not talking about how he overstepped boundaries on set. Everyone else in the cast has sided with Blake, and now nobody's saying anything because they don't want to get involved. Colleen Hoover herself said, fuck this guy, even though he came to her with the script and the movie being like, I just think I need to play Ryle. I think I feel good. Who is like, I need to play this abusive man, and I need to show, his whole thing was, I need to show that abusers have feelings too. That's like his whole fucking message. Amen. And so like, that to me is already fucking bizarre. And then I read through all the text. Kevin, the amount of time I've spent on this is ridiculous. I read all the text messages. I read all the pages. I did not just on TikTok, like all the TikTok lawyers have done. I went through it, bored to fucking tears going through it. All the stuff that Justin says to Blake is okay, yes, let's do this, let's do that. Love your enthusiasm, love the passion, this is amazing. And then at the same time, he's texting everybody else being like, fuck this bitch, she's so annoying, we're giving her too much rope, like she's taking the movie over, whatever. Never did he say to her, hey, it's kind of getting a little, like he was afraid of having that conversation with her. And then these other guys are like, you got to cut it off, you got to do this, you got to do that.
That to me, I agree with that. But that, I was like, this guy is afraid of her. He's not the one aggressor on her. He's like, I'm afraid of this girl.
I think he's afraid of her now. Like he became afraid of her after she had spoken up about feeling uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden it was whatever Blake wants, Blake gets. But it's like, if you don't want her to be involved in this movie, then don't ask her to co-produce, like being like so excited to do this together. We're both on top of our game. Like it was very encouraging from his side to her. So if I'm her, I'm seeing this, I think everything is fine. I'm in my ivory tower, whatever the fuck. And I'm like, yeah, me and my husband, we got this going. Great movie, whatever. We're gonna, we'll highlight the abusive part about it, but let's focus on the fact that the women can get through it. Like that's her side of it. Whereas Justin wanted to focus on abusers have feelings too. And so they were both given different directions when doing the carpet interviews and stuff. Like there's just so much nuance to the whole thing and conversations and the way you talk behind closed doors that I just can't see why so many people are riding for Justin Baldoni so hard. And the only thing I can think of is it's like the Amber Heard effect. Like Amber Heard was crazy for sure with the Johnny Depp thing. Johnny Depp equally is crazy, both probably equally guilty. Amber Heard is the only one we've never heard from again. You know what I'm saying? Like people love to villainize. If you get an opportunity to villainize a woman. I hate to say it, but people will run with it. And that is what happened to Amber, and it's what's happening to Blake right now. And while I do think that she probably was sensitive and over the top or whatever, I think Justin's equally guilty. And I hate how this is now turned into like, fuck Blake Lively, that fucking bitch, bring up old interviews. She's bringing Taylor Swift in. Taylor's not her friend anymore. Just the narratives are out of control. And I just can't wait for it to be over, but we got a whole nother year.
I know.
March
the fact that
9th,
it's not even gonna
2026.
start till 26.
Unbelievable.
That's one
It's just too much.
I'm surprised. I know you're not like a gossip guy though, but like there is an element of. By the way, it's fascinating. Like, the way people can see things differently. I just see it like the entire opposite way.
No, I know,
But,
and so do a lot of people. And in my head, I'm like, I guess I could see you getting like in my head, it's like you're getting tricked to think that way. Like that's how I think.
Yeah.
Seeing it, I'm like, how do you not see?
Yeah, he's got the hotshot lawyer,
right? Like, how do you not see what's happening here?
But to me,
I understand
the
how
main
people are
thing
falling
like
for it.
really, it's not sexual harassment. It's not. She wants all the sequels, and they were like, you can get rid of Justin Baldoni if he violates a morality clause. I think that's like an interesting, as a movie guy,
You know who
like
says
if there's
that?
a trilogy and
Does Candace Owens say that? That's Candace Owens' whole thing about this. Which, by the way,
Yo,
we need to stop propping up Candace Owens.
Yo,
like she's gonna pull the rug on everybody, being like, she's Mrs. I've got all the information on Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and then in 5 minutes she's gonna be like, by the way, fuck women and all this other
she's
shit
just
like
on
she
to the
does
next.
on the usual.
She's that's the main thing where I'm like that when she started, I was like, I don't care. There could be 1,000 sequels to this movie. He could have actually sexually harassed you. I'm pulling the plug on the whole thing once Candace Owens is going to make her daily show about me and my fucking
100%.
That woman
100%.
is terrifying.
She's out of
I
her
don't
mind,
want
and
any smoke on
she
that.
is someone who
She does not.
She
not
goes with the
relent,
flow.
bro.
She has no like morals or feelings herself. She goes with whatever is popular, and she's contrarian, and she'll make money wherever there's money to be made.
Right.
And this right now happens to be it. And shitting on Blake and Ryan and accusing them of like
That's the hot
working
thing.
for the money and doing whatever. Like that's what makes sense. But to what you said about you think that she wants a sequel, she wants this, she wants that. I don't even think any of that was like a problem or a question because Ryle isn't in all the movies. You know what I mean? Like he's maybe in and out or
But
whatever.
I think he was gonna still produce.
He could have
and
been a
direct and all
part
that
of it.
shit.
They could have been a part of it together. I think it's more. I do truly think it's more that Justin Baldoni he gives off a creep vibe. And the video of them practicing and him, like the weird stuff he was saying in his like sultry voice, weird. The voice note he sent her 7 minutes being like,
But
you
she's
probably
doing all
got
shit
you
too."
probably got a baby on your boob right now. Like, sorry, Blake, it's 2 a.m. I hope I'm not waking you up. Like, it's fucking, those guys.
guy
Like,
sucks.
girls know guys like that.
Yeah.
And he also has a podcast that's, I'm a feminist man. He received an award for being an ultra feminist as a man. Fuck off. Like, I know that I've met
Him
that
and Ron
guy.
Swanson.
For real. I've met that guy. I know that guy. I've seen
He's
that
so
guy, and
smarmy
he's
and
full
smug.
of fucking shit. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe people have never met a guy like that. And then people are saying it the other way around. They're
But
like,
I think it's a
people
full of
have never
shit
met
off.
a guy
I think-
like
I
Justin
think-
where he's just so open about this
Yeah,
and
no,
that.
no,
I'm like,
that
no,
guy
no,
sucks.
that's
That guy
not.
sucks.
It's nefarious.
Yeah.
How do we not see this?
Yeah, no, he sucks.
And so it drives me crazy.
That part for sure.
Yeah.
That guy stinks. But
But I
he
understand
still wins.
how
He's just-
arguments can be made for everything.
He's just the fact that he's even mentioned in their names, like, is
Who
a pretty
knew who
big
he was
win.
before
meaning
this?
like he's on the level of
Like
Jason-
Ryan Reynolds and Blake
Violent.
Lively. Now you just throw in Justin Baldoni as well. Who the fuck is that?
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
He was on Jane the Virgin. That's his big claim to fame. Which, like, good show. Jane the Virgin's got Gina Rodriguez, and she's Jane the Virgin. And then he's like the heartthrob friend that they like get together. It's like, I mean, I don't even know if the show is still on. To be honest, it might be. I'm not even sure. But
By the way, this question today on it. Oh wait, is the dozen out by the time when is our show coming out?
you guys are good. Like it's. I was very honored to be called at the Super Bowl live show. That was an amazing thing. But you guys, like, I mean, I don't even think you needed the like.
It was. I mean, like
You guys were so
we've
good.
kind of just become like a pretty good.
You
It
beat the
doesn't.
experts.
All three of us are legitimately dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't. Like I know the
But,
movies and
bro,
the television.
we're not playing Jeopardy.
Yeah,
I
but it's
know.
still
You
like
know, they're like,
it's still you
these
have
guys
to
are so
remember
dumb.
things.
It's like the questions are about criminal minds. There's a very
It's just
difference,
quick
big difference
thinking.
between
It's-
intelligence and like knowledge and memory and shit like that.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Also, I think I know what you're saying, but like you guys are all smart people.
after our first game, we went back into the green room and because we beat ZD and experts and Yak played before us, and so like the experts were still in the green room and PFT was just like, he's like, I don't know how you guys do it. He's like, you just say words,
I think
and
that's
eventually
so-
you guys stumble upon the answer. He's like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. He's like, I don't think you're cheating, but like every question, you don't have a clue when
It's
it's
like
asked.
you're all a part of the same brain. Like you all have enough for each, like
like
to
a hive
form one
mind.
brain.
Yeah.
And it's like here's
Well, that's the
here's
show.
the one
Like,
brain.
I know
and-
sports,
Yeah.
you know pop culture, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get what everyone's saying, but I think it's. I think it's not. People aren't giving you guys enough credit. It's just like
It's true.
We're
I
pop
mean,
culture, like we're a pop
Dana-
culture company, and we're a sports
Dana is
company.
literally the best player it does in history.
And of all time.
Yeah.
He averages like 20 points a game.
I'm not. It's not a joke. Like
It's crazy.
statistically, Dana is the greatest player in the history of the dozen.
I don't know. My
Wow.
girl Kelly is.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
coming
statistically.
for that ass.
But like,
Because
I'm just saying,
I'm
right
like-
now, if you were to like #1 overall draft pick,
I am.
I had to
am.
heavily negotiate for my girl.
This is my number one thing. Like I am, where I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm gonna try it so fucking hard at the dozen, and all I'm doing all day long. I do daily dozen every day now. I'm doing other trivia shit. Like I'm trying to get it all in. I'm rewatching old shows I haven't watched in
How many?
years.
I called you like 2 or 3 times. You were in.
I was
New
in.
Orleans
I
or
was in.
whatever,
I was in Chicago.
Chicago.
After, it was right after.
I
we
mean,
filmed the finale.
I was wheeling and dealing with Jeff D-Lo,
Well,
and I was like,
he-
I gotta call Kelly because I was like, I don't know
I
if
was
she
getting
wants to
ready
be on
for
my team. Maybe
dinner.
she wants to stay with them, and I want to take the. And she was like, I'm at dinner, I can't talk, and I was like, I felt like
I
I
was
was
at dinner.
Nico Harrison trading Luca. Like,
I didn't know what was going on because I was at dinner, and then Jeff was at. I was also at dinner
Jeff,
with
yeah,
Jeff, and
yeah.
then he finally was like, "Hey, is this team good?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sounds great." And then it was all, but I didn't know the drama that was going on because
No,
I was
He offered me other good
burrata.
players, like really good players, and I was like, I'm cool with that team, but I would like let me float this by you.
I am very happy with the team. I think it's fun. It's us and Rico. I think it's
Yeah, no, I
a
know
fun
it.
team. The
The
Riders. We go hard. We play hard, and I think it's fun. The Chicago team. I'm not sad to leave them. Love them.
Jeff
Love
was like,
Dave and Ryan.
They
I
were
do.
like, they. First of all, they played 51 matches and never won a tournament game.
Yeah.
Most ever. And
which
they
is
lost,
which is also
like-
me. Like I could have, but I can't.
Did they boot
I can't
you,
throw the
or
football and
did
catch
I
a football
steal
too.
Great reference. That's
you.
a great reference. That's as good as the first time
Thank
she
you.
dropped the Wally Pipp.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
10
that.
years
I got
ago.
Wally Pipp.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
awesome. All right.
It's true though. Yeah.
So me and Kelly will be on the dozen all year. You can catch us for the season, and then you can go see her on Taylor Watch, and you can maybe follow her on Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, at your own risk because I don't know what's going on. Follow me everywhere else though. I'm normal everywhere else. I swear.
All right, good stuff.
Hey, Keegs.
Yeah. Oh, fun, guys.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.